Have you ever wondered what goes on in the mind of a killer? Today's video takes you into a gripping interrogation, revealing chilling secrets minute by minute. The confessions don't just uncover the truth behind brutal crimes, they'll leave you frozen by the calculated calmness of the perpetrator. This is more than just a story, it's a warning about the darkest corners of humanity. Don't miss this video if you want to dive deep into the criminal psyche. And don't forget to hit subscribe button to stay updated with more thrilling analysis videos. Subscribe today to unlock exclusive benefits from our channel. Picture a chilly evening in Anchorage, Alaska, 2019. A black Ford Ranger cruises through the quiet streets. Inside, a man with a South African accent picks up a woman for what he calls a date. But what she discovers later is beyond horrifying. On his phone, hidden in a folder titled Homicide at Midtown Marriott, are gruesome photos and videos. In one, his chilling voice echoes, "People need to know when they're being serial killed." Overcome with fear, the woman does the only thing she can. She contacts the police. But who is this man, and what exactly has he done?
Mr. Smith, I'm Detective Lee, the Anchorage Police Department. I just want to show you my badge,
Yeah.
my ID, so you know who you're targeting. This is Detective Bell, my partner. We have some matters we wanted to clear up with you and talk to you today, so I appreciate you coming up here with these guys and talking to me. Obviously, we're here at the airport. They brought you up here to talk to me, so we have some kind of a formality to get by. I have to read you what's called a Miranda warning. Do you know what that is?
Yes.
Okay, so I'm going to read this to you, and if you have any questions at all while I'm reading it, just feel free to stop me and ask me, and I'll explain it the best I can, okay?
Yes.
And having these rights in mind, do you wish to talk to us now?
Yes.
Okay, and like I said, I'm gonna, like I said, I have some stuff I want to talk to you, and I want to hear what you have to say, and I appreciate you being attentive to me. So, like I said, we have some matters we need to clear up with you, and I just wanted to ask you: do you have any idea, any thought in your head about what we might want to talk to you today about?
No, my truck was broken into.
Brian Stephen Smith arrested the moment his plane landed at Anchorage Airport. Calm but visibly uneasy, he sits across from detectives. "I don't know why you want to talk to me," Smith says, deflecting with a story about a supposed truck break-in 2 months earlier. But is this a true tale, or a desperate attempt to divert suspicion?
A few months, well, about a month or two ago, and that's why I don't have a driver's license. My wallet was stolen.
Okay.
And I had some papers that were in the car with me.
Okay.
And some stuff. Is it about that?
Where was it at that your truck was broken into?
It was at University Lake.
University Lake at the, and this, that's the one over there by UAA, kind of off Elmore Road. Is that the University Lake?
Yes, it's right there between the Native Hospital and Providence. Yeah.
Okay. What day was it that it was broken into?
Oh, I can't remember.
Did you report it to the police?
Yes.
Okay.
And they used my credit card to go buy a whole lot of stuff. So that's what I was worried about.
Okay.
And one of my bags had a whole lot of confidential papers in it.
Okay.
Things that I used with my immigration.
Okay.
And so I was worried about those things getting in the wrong hands, identity fraud and all that stuff.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And you don't recall when that was that it got broken into?
Oh man, it was
What is today's like? It's October 8th, and that water's for you. We just pour that water if you want it.
It was like 2 months ago or something like that.
2 months ago.
If
Okay.
Oh man. Oh, you know what? My Cabela's credit card might shed light because this says expires 1/24. Okay, it's not. I thought this would be exactly 4 years after it was.
Where'd they use your cards at?
Oh, at Lowe's and the Tudor Lowe's and Office Depot right next door.
Okay.
It is. I don't know when exactly they broke the window, but they.
Smith continues his act as a victim, detailing stolen credit cards and missing documents. But when asked about the timeline and specific items, his answers become vague, raising eyebrows. Is he genuinely forgetful, or is he stalling for time, trying to weave a cover story? Detectives silently watch, waiting for a crack in his composure.
I got a phone call from one of the guys at work that said my window's broken. So as I'm down there looking at this, what the heck, the messages start coming through on my phone. You know, your transaction at Lowe's for $500 and something dollars has been accepted. And I'm like, what the heck?
Yeah.
And then I jumped in and I saw everything gone. And as I'm trying to cancel, it said Office Max or whatever, 300 and something's been approved there.
Okay.
And I'm trying to get through to the police to do the online statement, well, to open the thing, because I thought I need a police number to be able to cancel things.
Sure.
But yeah, apparently I didn't need to. So.
Okay.
But that was the only damage that they did to the credit cards.
Okay. And what kind of vehicle do you own that was broken into?
Oh, this is a little Ford Ranger.
Okay.
I've got, yeah.
Okay. And is that your vehicle or somebody else's vehicle?
That's mine, yeah.
Yours. Okay. All right. What did you say? They broke the window. Or how did they get into it?
Well, through the passenger side.
Oh,
It's
okay.
a two-door. It's got the little flat doors on the back.
Okay.
And yeah, they broke that window.
Okay.
And, the truck's a bit of a mess. I don't know what all they took, but yeah, every day I'm finding new things. Like
Yeah.
my winter jacket I saw now the other day, that's gone from there. You know.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
And since you said this about 2 months ago, have you gotten any of your property back or?
No,
Nothing.
the Cabela's who go through Capital One, they finally now a few days ago accepted that it was a fraud thing. It wasn't me buying stuff.
Okay.
And they released the money.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Good.
So I've got my money back from them.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
What kind of items? You said your credit cards obviously were taken. What else was taken out of the truck?
Well, that's the thing I don't remember.
Tension mounts when police bring up a missing SD card. Smith dodges, claiming he uses his GoPro to capture nature shots and outdoor adventures. But what exactly is on this card? And how did it lead detectives to him? Unease creeps onto Smith's face as the walls begin closing in.
I had a spare phone that was gone, but I hardly used that. Papers were gone. There was a briefcase. It was like a double laptop briefcase, and that's where I kept all my papers and stuff.
Okay.
And that wouldn't have been in the truck if my wife and I didn't have a fight that night. So
Oh,
she was
okay.
complaining about all my stuff in the house. So I loaded stuff in the truck.
Okay.
And like I said, the jacket I saw now the other day, the jacket was gone. I think one of my old GoPros was inside there.
Oh, okay.
I think that's gone.
Okay. You think it's gone?
I can't find it at home. So
Okay.
yeah.
Did you report when you made the report? Was that listed on the items taken? Do you think or?
Yeah, I don't know if I mentioned it on the police one, but when the insurance, because I did the police first and then the insurance basically phoned me afterwards, like what was going on.
Okay.
So I did mention to them, but I didn't want to push it. Just now it's fraud. You know?
Yeah.
Then you get in trouble. You know?
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
And I'm 99% sure one of my little toolboxes is gone. I know I moved things between, two toolboxes put into one.
Okay.
So it might have been the one I threw away.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. The little GoPro you said that was taken. What stands out about how does because I'm not familiar with GoPros. How do they record memory into the camera or do they record on something else or how does that work?
Oh no, yeah, it's got a little SD card on.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, it records on an SD card. Yeah.
Okay.
When questioned about stays at the Marriott, Smith reluctantly admits he stayed there after an argument with his wife. "I drank a lot," he confesses, but is that the whole truth? When pressed about a potential companion, his answers grow hesitant and contradictory. The detectives know they're striking a nerve.
And real quick, what kind of phone? Do you know what brand of phone it was?
Oh no, I actually buy and sell things on eBay and stuff like that. I'm trying to make a quick buck on stuff. So.
Like iPhone or Android?
Oh yeah, a little Android.
Android, okay.
Probably, yeah.
Okay.
I try to stay away from iPhones. It's too much of a mission. I have already on a few occasions bought an iPhone, and then I'm trying to sell it, and just after you sell it, the person phones back and says, "Why did you lock the phone?" And like, I didn't lock it, and you find out the guy you bought it from, and basically, people, I think that's what people do. They buy a phone on contract, they sell it, and then you're nodding like you know it.
Don't make the payment.
And then they claim insurance that it's stolen, and then the phone gets blocked. Yeah.
Sure. We see that type of thing all the time. Doing what we do. So, okay. All right. Anything else you think that we're here to talk about that you can take? Any off the top of your head? Anything we might be here to talk about?
No, honestly, I can't think of anything.
Okay.
It's my truck's got lots of loose little things in it all over the place. So,
okay.
Yeah.
Is your truck here? Did you drive it to the airport? Or did you park it here?
No, it's at home. Yeah.
It's at home.
Yeah.
Okay.
I took a cab. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'll explain. Like I said, we have some matters we need to clear up, and the thing we need to talk about is recently some property was brought to APD, and I was given that property as a little SD card, and I watched that SD card and I looked at it, and that's what I want to talk to you about.
Okay.
So what can you tell me? Because you mentioned the SD card and the GoPro camera, so what can you tell me about that?
Well, usually everything I record is stuff from my trips when I go out camping. So if you see me making fires and cooking meat and walking in the forest, and if it's on a GoPro, there's a good chance it's me trying to...
Smith admits to meeting a woman at a homeless shelter, but he claims he doesn't remember her name or appearance, a hazy, fragmented recollection. Is he truly forgetful, or is he suppressing something far darker? The detectives press further, watching as cracks begin to show in Smith's carefully constructed story.
Take shots or a video of me shooting through things. That's why I got a GoPro. It's got a very high frame rate. So I'm trying to capture... if you ever look on YouTube, you'll see the guys shooting through like latex or through bottles or something, and you can see the bullet going through.
Shooting a bullet?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So we've got property out in Talkeetna, so it's out there, you know. So
Okay.
it's not like in town shooting kind of stuff.
Okay. Where out in Talkeetna do you have properties? Like a cabin or?
It is on the end of Montana Creek Road.
Okay.
The road, well, Montana Creek Road goes east-west, and where it turns north, there's like a section over there that's like still very wild and stuff. So we're out there, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So like I said, it's about that SD card. I wanted to kind of just see if this will refresh a memory here for you. That there, and that's it right there on top of that.
I've seen those. I've got one or two of those. You get those at Walmart.
Okay. And now is that one like the one you're missing? Because you said you're missing one out of the GoPro.
No, well, the whole GoPro's gone.
Oh, the whole GoPro's gone.
Yeah.
But was that the type of card that might have been in that GoPro when it was gone?
No.
Okay.
I've got one of these that I've been using for my 3D printer.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's where I've got these green ones. The other one's all black.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, and so like I said, this was brought to APD and given to me, and like I said, I viewed the images and the videos on that SD card.
Yeah.
And that's obviously that's how I got to you. That's how I figured out who you are.
Okay.
And that's what we need to clear up that matter of what's on that SD card.
Okay. What's on the card?
Okay. You mentioned a black Ford Ranger truck you have.
Yeah.
I observed that black Ford Ranger that you have. What's the plate on your Ford Ranger?
This is no longer a casual conversation. The pressure intensifies as detectives reveal the SD card, evidence that could implicate Smith. His accounts of lonely nights and meeting strangers only deepen the suspicion. Is this the moment his mask finally slips? The tension in the room is palpable as the truth edges closer to the surface.
Oh, I can't remember.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, but it's the Ford Ranger that's registered to you and to Stephanie.
Yeah.
And it's FSL
Yes,
878. Does that sound right? So, like I said, that's how I got to you. There's pictures of that truck on that SD card.
Okay. Well, it could be. I could have used it for something if it's got my truck on it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And that's what we want to talk to you about. So, let's talk about over the last month, time span of a month or so. You work at the Marriott. How often, you live at Starbucks, so you live here in Anchorage. How often would you say you stay at a Marriott? Would you spend the night there at a Marriott or rent a room there?
Well, when we go away, like now we stayed at Marriott, yeah.
Okay.
In DC.
Yeah.
But let's say here in Anchorage.
A few weeks ago, probably a month or two, I had a fight with my wife and I went and stayed at a Marriott. It's the one that's behind Moose's Tooth.
Okay,
Yeah.
behind the Moose's Tooth.
Yeah.
Okay, and what, you said about 2 weeks ago,
Yeah.
you and your wife stayed there?
No, I stayed there.
You stayed there?
Yeah.
What did you say about your wife, though?
Oh, we had a fight. So,
Oh, you had a fight? Okay.
Yeah.
So, about what date do you think that was?
I can't remember.
Okay.
I can look on my phone,
Okay.
or it'll say like, how was your stay or whatever,
Okay. And how many nights did you rent it? Do you have to, as an employee, do you have to rent the room, or how does that work?
Oh yeah, I just rent the room, yeah.
Okay. And how many nights did you rent the room for?
Probably about 2 nights. Yeah.
All right.
Brian Stephen Smith tries to explain his absence, mentioning a fight with his wife that led him to stay at the Marriott. His calm demeanor begins to show cracks as his story reveals suspicious gaps. He admits he might have sought companionship that night, hinting at a darker side to his personal life.
And when you went to the hotel, what did you do? What was your evening like?
Well, after a fight with your wife, you usually drink a hell of a lot, so it did involve quite a bit of alcohol. So
Okay. What did you drink?
would probably have been Jack Daniels.
Okay. Okay. Did you go anywhere?
I probably would have driven around a bit, got some food and stuff.
Okay. Did you meet up with anybody? Talk to anybody?
I can't remember. I probably would have. Between us, I have been known to sometimes go out and find a companion.
Okay. Did you do that, you think, that particular night?
I probably did. Yeah.
You probably did.
Yeah.
Okay. So can you tell me about how that evening went down?
Well, if this is the same evening, I met a lady down at the homeless shelter. She actually works there, and she stayed the night. And I still got to work late the next morning because I went and dropped her off back at work again. So I can't remember her name. I can't even remember what she looks like. Yeah.
Okay. What time was it that you picked her up at the homeless shelter?
Well, I probably would. I don't know. I can't tell you. I really can't tell you. Yeah.
Okay.
Smith recounts meeting a woman at a homeless shelter, a story that seems ordinary at first, but his shifting gaze and vague details raise questions. He claims he can't remember her name or appearance, yet describes driving her back the next morning as if to erase any trace of their encounter. Was this just a random meeting, or is there more to this story?
But it would have been late, like 10, 11.
Okay. And from there, once you picked her up, where did you guys go?
We would have. She said that she knows where we can get some booze, and she arranged some vodka, which she actually kept. I didn't have to drink. I'm sure of that.
Mm-hmm.
It's very fuzzy. I remember her shouting out the window with vodka or something like that.
Okay.
And then we would have gone back to the hotel room.
Okay.
Yeah.
Can you describe her the best you can? What she looked like? What she was wearing?
Short hair, very short hair. Immediately I thought she was lesbian, and later on she told me that she doesn't usually go with guys. Usually it's girls, so it made sense, And the thick makeup.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And when you got back to the hotel room, what did you guys do?
Oh, we had to watch a bit of TV, drank a bit more. And then through the night maybe done something. Yeah.
Okay. And can you just give a little more detail what you guys did?
Well, obviously, gotten a little bit physical, you know,
Okay.
sexually, if you want that word.
Okay, so you guys had sex.
Probably, yeah, there's a good chance. After a few drinks, don't usually work, you know, so...
Okay. Okay, so after that, what happened next?
Well, woke up in the morning. This I remember. I woke up and she was in the bathroom putting her makeup on, and she spent like an hour or so. And I was in a rush to get back to work, so that was the big thing there, you know.
Okay.
And I got to work about an hour late because I still went and dropped her off.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. And like we told you, today's the 8th. You said this is about 2 weeks ago.
No. It was longer than 2 weeks ago.
Smith treads into dangerous territory as he talks about his night at the hotel. He admits to drinking, watching TV, and having a sexual encounter with the woman, but unease creeps into his voice as he avoids providing specifics. What secrets lie hidden behind his hazy recollection?
It's more like a month ago.
A month ago. Okay. Okay. And since that time, since about a month ago, have you rented a room in Anchorage at all and spent the night there?
No.
No, that's the last time you did. Okay. And you said she was putting her last thing you said she was putting on her makeup, and then did you take her somewhere, or what happened?
Yeah, I went to drop her off again because she works at the homeless shelter,
Okay.
the one that they want to close down.
Okay.
Yeah.
After that night, after you came back to the room, did you and her go anywhere else around Anchorage or anywhere else outside of Anchorage or anywhere for that matter?
No, I never saw her again. Yeah.
Okay.
Are you speaking about Brother Francis Shelter or something different?
The one that goes down, that's just across from the prison.
Okay.
That one,
Yeah. Okay.
So, yeah, no, if you give people your number or something like that, they'll phone you and weird things. You know?
Yeah.
And since that night, have you picked up? Because you said you've picked up, and I'm not here investigating, prostitution, something like that. So you can be honest with me. Have you picked up any other girls that are companions, as you put it, since then?
No. That's the last time my wife and I had a fight that I had a chance. You know.
Okay.
If she's there, you can't take anybody home. You know. So.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And then after that, did you stay at the address over on Starbuck ever since then?
Yeah.
Until you went out of town?
Yeah.
Okay. When did you go out of town?
We left on the 1st or the 2nd last week, Monday night. Yeah.
Okay.
We left.
All right.
When detectives bring up the SD card, Smith's curiosity quickly turns to tension as they reveal its contents, photos and videos that perfectly match the time and place of his stay. Despite his denials, a shadow of fear begins to show on his face.
Okay. And like I told you, I viewed everything on the SD card, and I did see your truck on there. Is there anything else on that SD card that we need to talk about?
No. You could show me the card and see. You can show me what's on there if you want to.
Okay. That night, how much alcohol did you say you had to have to drink?
Oh, goodness. Well, let's put it this way. For me to actually go out and need someone to talk to, you know, it's usually a lot. I know you probably don't believe this from what I've just said, but I love my wife and whatever. I don't want to jeopardize anything, you know.
Of course not.
So I've got to really be drunk to go and do something stupid, you know.
Okay.
So I'll probably finish like a bottle of Jack or something. Well, not finish, but like quite a bit, yeah.
Okay. And you said a minute ago, and just so you know, I used to work in this. So you don't have to be embarrassed or shy to talk about these things. But I am going to ask you to get pretty specific about what you and her did in the room together. If you could just kind of describe how it started and what you guys did.
Okay. Well, I don't remember, but if you really want graphic, we probably played with each other, and she probably have, and then there's a good chance we probably tried screwing, if you can put it that way. Once again, knowing myself, I would probably have tried and tried and tried, and nothing happened, and then in the morning, tried again.
Okay.
You know, when I was a little bit more sober.
Okay.
But that's generally, it's one of those, yeah, that's generally what would have happened.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Smith tries to deny recognizing anyone in the photos, but the evidence is like a blade cutting through his story. Detectives press him with unrelenting questions, pointing out the timestamps, his truck, and his personal belongings captured in the images. The silence in the room grows heavier.
And then you said you didn't go anywhere. What time did you think it was you got back to the room?
Well, what makes me think most places stop selling alcohol at like 10 o'clock. So this would have been past 10 o'clock. So that's why I'm thinking 10 to 11 o'clock.
Okay. And after 10 to 11 o'clock, did you go anywhere else after that on that particular night?
No, the whole thing is the rush is to get the girl to the room. You know, you don't want to still go driving around with her. Before she changes her mind, you want to get to the room.
Okay.
Yeah.
And how many nights did you say you rented that room for?
For 2 nights. Yeah.
2 nights. Was this on the first night that you had the room, or was this on the second?
This was the second night.
Second night.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because I knew I was checking out, and I didn't want her to stay there.
Okay.
You know, because then they'll find her there. Then, because I booked the room through my Marriott number, they would have said, "Hey, what's this person doing in your room?" You know, and then work would have found out. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Just wanted to put my notes here real quick. Do you have anything you wanted to ask?
You said you stayed there 2 nights, right?
Yeah.
And this was the second night that you're telling us
This
about
would
right
have been
now?
the second night. Yeah.
What did you do the first night? So the first night you stayed there, tell us about that night.
That night, I would have probably just fallen dead asleep. If I
Okay.
can put it that way.
Okay, so that you didn't have somebody else, you didn't meet another companion and have somebody else there the first night.
No, I would have been like.
With Smith's denials crumbling, detectives present more evidence, clear time and location stamps from the SD card. He becomes visibly flustered, trying to downplay his involvement. But the puzzle pieces are falling into place, and they all point directly at him.
Just tired from the fight, you know, you're
Alright.
mentally tired. You just want to go home and just. There's a good chance I would have gotten myself some chicken and a whole lot of beers, and you know,
Okay.
the only time I'm allowed to actually have KFCs when I'm not with a wife. She doesn't like it, you know. So
Okay.
I spoil myself to KFC whenever I'm alone. Yeah.
Sure. Okay.
Yeah.
I just wanted to show you these pictures, see if they would help you kind of refresh the girl from that night.
No, that's not her.
Not her.
Just
Okay.
short hair.
Short hair. Okay.
Short hair. No,
Okay. All right.
she looks like a drug addict.
Okay.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen this woman before?
No.
Have you ever had any contact with her at all?
No. I have. Look, in the last 5 years that I've been here, probably starting about 2 years ago, I've probably gone out and picked up a girl or two. So I might have seen her before, but not fresh in my mind.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. And then you said her here
No.
doesn't ring a bell, doesn't look familiar. You've never seen her.
No.
Okay. All right.
In those couple years, how many would you guess? Is there a lot, or can you just sound
Oh
a
no, like
couple on each hand, or how many?
once or twice a year.
Okay.
Yeah.
So 4 to 6 times in the last couple years?
Probably like 3 times.
Okay.
Altogether.
And then I told you on there that how I found you is we saw your truck. Is
That's my truck.
that's your truck?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
I recognize the rims and my grey canopy.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then this is kind of a close-up of the license plate. Is that?
The picture becomes sharper with every detail. His truck, his shoes, the timestamps, everything aligns in an incriminating pattern. Smith, who once appeared calm, now faces the undeniable truth that he can't escape the tightening web of evidence.
Look about right to be your plate.
I don't remember the plate properly, but that if that's from here, yeah, this is my truck. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm the only person I know that's got that silver.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you recall this picture of your truck? Seeing this before?
No. That's at night. Usually at night I'm home.
Okay. You said usually at night you're at home.
Yeah.
What hours do you work at when you go to work? What's the hours that you work?
Recently, the last 3-4 months, it's been 8 to 4:30.
Okay.
Yeah.
8 a.m.
Yeah, 8 a.m. to 4:30.
What do you do for them?
Maintenance.
Maintenance, okay.
And you just work at that one specific hotel, or do you at multiple of the hotels?
No, just that. Up until for the last year, I've been at University Lake, and now it's at Residency.
Okay. And just to help me sure up the dates of when you were there, does this look about right is this you here and then the date? Would that ring a bell about when that was? Would that be the particular evening you're talking about?
What's that? 4th of September, 2nd. Yeah.
So yeah, that's arrived. Would that be about right?
So what's now?
It's the 8th of October now.
8th of October, yeah.
September. October, yeah. So yeah, a month ago, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's about.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure that's right. Okay. Is there anything else, and I'm going to step out here a minute and let you take a break, drink some water. Is there anything else about that evening that we haven't talked about that you want me to know about, or you think we should talk about?
No.
The final images from the SD card unveil a horrifying reality, one Smith can no longer avoid. With sweat forming on his brow and a vacant look in his eyes, he braces for the inevitable questions. A confession may be the last thing he wants, but it's becoming the only option left.
Okay.
Yeah.
We have some water there for you. Did you want a cup of coffee or anything? Or?
No.
Okay.
Fine, yeah.
We're going to step out for a minute. We'll be right back, okay?
Okay.
Well, you seemed curious about what was on you were asking me to show you what's on the SD card. I don't have it here to show you exactly what's on there, but I wanted to talk about it. And like I said to you a minute ago, the images led me to you. There's images on there that led me to you, and for multiple reasons. The truck, like I said, I knew that was your truck. You're saying that's your truck in the photographs. Mm-hmm. There's pictures of the Marriott. There's pictures of the Marriott, the hotel room on the GoPro, or excuse me, on that SD card. And that's how I knew it was that Marriott. It was the Midtown Marriott.
Okay.
And the pictures, I don't know. You probably know about this. I think you're into technology and stuff. Okay. Photographs, they have a time and date stamp. So the photographs are time and date stamped. So they basically the photographs time and date stamp matched at the time that you were at that hotel room.
Okay.
So that's how this SD card has led me to you.
Okay.
And like I said, there's a number of images on there, and there's a number of videos on there, and I brought some of the pictures to kind of go over with you about that. So this is one of the images on there. Part of it is kind of cut down a little bit, but can you tell me what's in that photo?
There's somebody's feet.
Okay.
Yeah.
Whose feet are those?
I don't know.
Okay. I'm looking at your shoe. I mean, it looks like the shoes you're wearing right now.
Yeah, it does. Yeah.
Okay. Is it safe to say those are your feet in that picture?
I don't know.
Okay.
I'm not the only person that's got shoes like this.
Okay.
I did recently buy these. I can't tell you when.
Okay, you can't tell me when. How long have you had them?
I don't know.
You don't know? Okay.
I don't know.
Where'd you buy them from?
These I would have got at Fred Meyer.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I just want to show you some other images here and like I said, I've watched the videos and the images on there, and I've watched them multiple times, and that's why we're here. That's how I knew to talk to you. So these are just some of the other images on there.
Okay.
These are on the SD card.
Okay.
So what can you tell me about these photos?
This looks like someone that's really been beaten up a bit.
Okay. And these are images. These are images, but there's also videos of this person.
Yeah.
And another person in the room as well. And that's why we're here to talk to you about.
How many people in the room?
At least two.
Oh. Yeah.
So we need to address this. We need to clear this up,
Okay.
Mr. Smith.
You think I hit this girl?
Well, like I said, there's videos of it. There's video of it, there's audio of it, there's a voice I've been talking to you now for almost 30, 40 minutes. And I know it was your voice I could hear in the video.
Okay.
And if you'd like to hear some of that, I can refresh your memory with it.
Disturbing images from the SD card are revealed, accompanied by a familiar voice captured in the video. Brian Smith attempts to deny it, but the confusion and unease are evident on his face. The irrefutable evidence begins to tighten its grip, suffocating any chance of escape.
The same pictures are on the SD card with your truck that you said was your truck.
Yeah, these are all on the same as your truck here. So.
It sounds like me. What's happening when that's...
What's happening is on this video, on these images, the person that's recording it is holding the recorder and is standing basically above this girl and strangling her.
Okay.
And so we need to talk about this. We need to get ahead of this, Mr.
Okay.
Smith.
I don't want to act stupid, but I don't remember anything. I don't remember anything.
Okay. But this occurred, and like I said, the photos are timestamped. This occurred in that room 323, 323, on September 4th, early mornings,
Yeah.
at the time that you were at the hotel.
The fourth, I don't. I'm not denying. I'm not saying you're lying, but I don't remember anything like this.
Has anything like that ever happened to you in the past then? Have you ever, when you drank or anything like that, has anything ever happened in the past where you drank and you forgot what you did?
Long time ago, I was told it was sugar blackouts.
So it wasn't alcohol?
No, well, both times, this is a long time ago, had a long stressful day at work, so apparently your sugar goes low, then you have a few drinks, like a beer or two, and then that artificially brings it up, and then you have a stressful situation, and that burns up the...
Smith claims sugar blackouts to explain his memory loss, admitting that the voice in the video sounds like his. Yet he denies any recollection of the events. The detectives remain steadfast, pressing harder, exposing the glaring inconsistencies in his story.
The adrenaline or whatever, and then that knocks you down, and then that's when you go into a blank. Once back in South Africa, I remember after work I'd had a little fire, made some meat, had some beers. I remember driving home, the sun was going down, and the next thing I woke up and I was about 30 miles other side of town facing this way, and the bottom of my car was all wrecked, and I didn't remember anything about what the heck. And that happened like twice within a month, and when I spoke to friends, I spoke to people about that, one guy said that had happened to somebody he knows. You got this like sugar, almost like a sugar coma or something stupid, like I don't know the technical deals. But yeah, it's usually when your insulin's low or your sugar's low.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what you're saying is it's definitely you talking on the recording, on the audio there, that you don't recall that?
That sounds like my voice. I've got a unique voice.
Mm-hmm, absolutely.
It's English mixed with the Dutch.
Mm-hmm. And you talking and like I said, there's about 12 of these videos, and I've watched every single one of them multiple times, unfortunately. And you talking, you know what you're doing in those videos. I mean, you're describing what's going on in those videos. And so, Mr. Smith, I don't believe that you don't remember this happening. And like I said, we need to talk. We need to get ahead of this because this is pretty big here.
Yeah.
So.
Well, yeah. I don't remember this. Is this the same girl? Yeah.
That is.
More damning evidence surfaces. Images of Smith's truck and cell phone data aligning perfectly with the crime's timeline. Smith insists the woman in the video isn't the one he picked up, but his words grow weaker under the weight of mounting proof.
I do not remember anything like this. I would remember something like this. I don't.
Okay. So then I just have more photos, and then this is more of the images that were on the phone. And this one's out in the parking lot, your truck again. Do you recall that?
Who would record stuff like this? That looks like a Marriott cart. That looks like my truck parked over there.
It is.
I do not remember anything like this. Honestly.
Where is this girl now?
I don't know. She's not the girl I picked up. I can tell you now, she's not the one I picked up. The one I picked up was short hair. And I dropped... when I dropped her off, several people waved at her and greeted her. So she's known down there. You know, if we can go down there and I can see the people working there, I can tell you, I can point her probably out to you. You know.
Okay.
But this is not the girl I picked up.
Okay. But that's definitely your voice on those audios. And I have no doubt about it. Like I said, I mean, your shoes are in the picture, your truck's in the picture, a Marriott cart, as you pointed out, is in the picture.
Yeah.
And then I can also point to this to you. This is the SD card file. And look at the fourth one down, what the name of that file is. Homicide, Marriott Hotel, Midtown, Anchorage. And this was modified on September 24th, 20 days later.
I did not do that. Why would I make a file like that?
A folder titled Homicide Marriott Hotel Midtown Anchorage on the SD card delivers a crushing blow to Smith's denials. Sweat beads on his forehead as his voice falters, grasping at straws to escape the tightening noose of evidence.
I know I can tell you if it says Android, it's been in an Android phone. I wouldn't, why would I, no, I didn't do that.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you said...
But, yeah.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
If I had to take videos of this, I would...
What did you use?
I wouldn't
videos?
write, I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't, no, I know.
So you're saying you didn't label the videos with that?
No.
Okay. What kind of phone do you have?
I got a Galaxy Note 5.
Okay. How long have you had that phone?
About a year.
Okay.
Yeah.
And is that phone linked to that number you gave me a minute ago, 205?
Yeah.
Okay. So you've had that phone more than a year, or that number? Or how long have you had that number?
Oh, I had that number about 4 years. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So part of the way this investigation has gone so far is that we got that number based on records, state records that you've given it for many different reasons. We linked that number to you,
Yeah.
and I obtained the records from AT&T via search warrant. And what that entails is basically the way your cell phone works, and you probably know this, is as you go around town, your cell phone pings off towers that are all over Anchorage, and it shows us basically historically of where you've been.
Okay.
So is there any reason why that we would have seen your picture, or so would it be consistent that your phone would have showed to being at that hotel at that night? Is that right?
Yes, yeah, I could show
Okay.
that, yeah.
Okay, so I just want to go over a few more images with you here. And this is the data back from that cell tower. That I got back. So you can look right there. So that's your number right there. This is from AT&T.
Yeah.
So this is where you stayed that night.
Yeah.
Okay. Same location.
Cell tower data exposes Smith's whereabouts. His phone was at the Marriott on the night of the crime and later at a remote location. Confronted directly, Smith stumbles through his responses, his story riddled with more holes than ever.
So the address of the hotel's right over here. So your phone basically is basically tracked anytime you drive around through a tower, and there's towers all over Anchorage. And going through your phone that evening, consistent with the times on those photo stamps, on those photo cards, on the 6th of September, we tracked your phone out to this location on the Seward Highway out by Indian Valley. So what can you tell me about that? You can look at that if you want to.
I don't remember that.
And this was 2 days later after what you're saying is a low sugar incident that you don't remember. This is 2 days later.
Yeah, the sugar things, it's like when you wake up the next day, it's fine. I don't remember this.
Okay, well, it was your phone, the 205 number. Yeah. It was your vehicle, your truck. There's cameras out on the highway at the way station, so there's no doubt about it that
inbound
you were
and
out
outbound.
there.
Yeah.
No doubt about it that you were out there.
Okay, I don't remember anything else, really, I'm sorry.
I think you do remember it, Mr. Smith, and and like I said, we need to talk about it, because right now, this right here is a small portion of this investigation, but this is just a small part of a very large investigation, and we're talking to people, we're talking to your wife, okay?
When have you spoken to her?
We're talking to her right now.
Right now.
Okay, and like I said, this is going to hit the news, and this might be your one chance to talk to give your side of it, to give your story. And that's why I'm here to talk to you today. I didn't have to come here and talk to you. I could have just had him take you. But I wanted to give you that opportunity to explain this, because we got the evidence. We know you were out there. Your phone shows you were out there.
Yeah, well, it's showing it, yeah. I'm not...
So we need to talk about it. We need to address it.
Smith finally confesses. Days after the incident, he found a body wrapped in a blue tarp in the back of his truck. Fear of being blamed drove him to dispose of the body in secret. Yet his belated confession only deepens the detective's suspicions.
Yeah, well, look, this sounds very serious. No matter what, I'm going to be in deep shit. So, okay, I'll tell you what I remember.
Okay.
The next day at work, I saw something dripping out the back of my truck. And I was like, what the hell? And I opened up, and there was somebody there underneath stuff. There was a blue, like a tarp at the back of my truck. And the back flap doesn't really lock. I've actually put a padlock on now since then. And I saw somebody, and I was like, what the hell, what must I do, what must I do? And because I've been out before, I thought, who's going to believe me? It's like the guy that gets stopped and he's got drugs in his pocket, and it's like, it's not mine, that's the way I was feeling, No one's going to believe me. So I was thinking for a long time, what the hell, what must I do? And then the one night I thought, well, I've got to get rid of this, I can't. And I drove out, and I did. I went and dumped it. But I was thinking of phoning in and saying, hey, I saw somebody standing there, that didn't look good. So yeah, I did dump it, but yeah.
Okay, I appreciate your honesty.
Yeah, but if you put yourself in my shoes, would you admit to something like that immediately?
No, we
it's a very serious thing to be,
No, it's very serious.
We understand. It's taking time for you to wrap your head around
Yeah.
what's happening right now, and that this is when and where it's happening. But you had to have thought in the past about this.
Well, I've been, it's like, what the hell, and I did see a few days ago on the Alaska Daily News, they said somebody was found. And I thought, okay, well, finally they found this girl,
In the dead of night, Smith sneaks away to dump the body in a remote area. He claims no one would have believed him if he'd called the police. But as the detectives probe further about the tarp and blanket, Smith's detailed answers only tighten the noose around him.
What else did you think when you saw that? What went through your head?
Well, it was actually relief, that they found her, If it was winter, she'd be snowed up and nobody would know where she was.
Why didn't you, when you saw it dripping out of the back of your truck, and
I was scared.
if you didn't remember what happened, why didn't you call somebody and say, hey, there's somebody in the back of my truck?
Well, that's the thing. Who would believe me? It's like I said. It's like the guy walking around. Police found drugs in his pocket. And he says, no, it's not mine, and everybody says, oh yes, we believe you. It's the same thing. Who would have believed me that I found something in the back of my truck? So.
Okay.
Yeah.
So can you describe, when was it, do you think, that you went out to?
Well, It was 2 days later.
Okay.
Yeah, I didn't know what to do. I was shitting myself. What the hell? What the hell?
Did you tell
And
anybody?
every now and then I'd actually go look, like, yes, it's not a dream. There is somebody here. You know. No, I didn't tell anyone. I was like scared. Yeah.
Okay. And what time was it 2 days later that you went out there?
It was late at night. Stephanie had gone to sleep already. So I saw the gap. Okay, let me get out of here. It's a sign. You know, it's a chance that I can get out without. Because in the day I'm working, I can't get out, and I knew I've got to go far. You know.
The voice in the video, Smith admits it's his. This truth strikes like a hammer blow, dismantling his defense. His final attempts to deny responsibility only pull him deeper into the vortex of an inescapable reality.
If I dumped it in town, where somebody would find it quickly, there's a chance I would be seen. So.
Okay. In that photo, you mentioned the blue tarp. Was there anything else in the back of the truck with the body?
No.
Okay. What about this blanket here?
Oh, yeah, sorry. There was this, it was a white thing wrapped. She was wrapped in white with a blue top over that.
And what did you do? Where's the tarp and the blanket now?
Well, that I tossed in the dumpster to get rid of it. So I didn't want to throw it out. You'll spot it immediately.
So you didn't want it to be found immediately? Or?
When I came into town, I can't remember where it was, but the first dumpster I found, I just threw it away.
Okay.
Yeah. What gets me is my voice on that. That is my voice.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That's really troubling.
You were aware of what was going on while you were doing this. Okay. Nobody's going to believe. Who do you think is going to believe you when you say, "I don't remember this happening"? Nobody's going to remember that.
I know.
That's why you say this is your.
This is it.
You get to write this. You get to explain this. There's an explanation for it, right? Something happened that night with you, whether it was a fantasy that you were carrying out that went too far, but something happened and you remember it. The video shows you doing it.
Yeah. Does it show my face?
So you can't deny it.
It doesn't show your face. It shows it, but it's your voice and your hands
That
and your
sounds
body.
like my
You can
voice.
see your body.
And some moles on your arms
Yeah.
and stuff like that. I mean, there's no doubt about it that it's you. You know it's you. You said it's you. You said that's your truck. That's your voice.
That's my truck. It's my voice.
So you can't use that.
Yeah.
So
Brian Smith sits across from the detectives as the evidence piles up. His voice, his hands, his truck, nothing can be denied. Yet, his repeated claim of "I don't remember" only deepens the suspicion. The tension in the interrogation room is palpable.
you can't say,
Maybe it's not you because we know it's you. We're
No, no,
absolutely part of we.
Yeah.
We have to figure out what happened. Which in this case, we are 100% absolutely sure of what happened because we know already.
Yeah.
But we also have to figure out why it happened. And why it happened, I don't know, is not a reason of why it happened. There is a reason why it happened. And if you add up talking to Alicia, going through your phone and your Googles and your accounts and everything, we're going to see some stuff that's going to lead us to, that's going to be very similar to this. Is that right?
What do you mean?
Similar to, we're going to see videos of other women, not necessarily by you, but we're going to see stuff like this that you've watched before, that you viewed, kind of snuff films as you would. Women getting beat up, women getting choked. We're going to see that kind of stuff on your stuff that we're searching, correct?
No. I like a bit of porn, but I actually don't like snuff too much. I don't like blood and gore. Yeah.
so what happened for this to get to this point? There's an explanation for it.
I'm serious. I do not remember this. I don't remember this face. I don't remember. It's my truck. That's my truck. It's my voice. That looks like my shoes. I wear jeans usually. It looks like jeans in that picture. I do not. I've got a blank on. If that's me, I've got a total blank. Something's blocking this out of my mind.
So when you went out there and you dumped the body, which you say you did,
Yeah.
did you take any photographs of out there while you were out there?
Smith admits to dumping the body, but denies remembering anything about the events at the hotel. The SD card, with its time-stamped photos and videos, crushes his attempts at deflection. Beads of sweat form as his anxiety becomes more visible.
I don't remember.
So you're admitting that you were at the hotel, that's your truck, that's your voice, and you admit that you took the body out there and you dumped the body, right? So why would there be photographs of her in the back of your truck at the dump site, which you admit to doing? On the same SD card, listen to me,
Okay.
on the same SD card that has all these photos on it and videos of you killing her. So tell me how a body can be found in the back of your truck randomly while you're at work, because you want us to believe somebody else put that body in there. And then you just happen to drive it out there, and there's photographs
On the same SD card.
on the same SD card of this woman in the back of your truck with the sheets that are on that card.
September 6th, 2 days later, like you said, that's the date stamp on the photo. It's a little small, but you can read it there. 2 days later, when you were aware of what was going on.
Yeah. I'm telling you, I don't know. I don't know.
And like you said, like you've said multiple times, this might be the one chance you get to talk about this and to explain it. And I don't know is not going to cut it.
I know. I can imagine your frustration here, but
It's not about frustration. It's just about giving you that opportunity now to explain
I can't believe
this.
you want this to be... He admits that he took the body out there and that he dumped it out there. But he has no recollection of anything that happened at the hotel where he admitted he was, where his truck was, where he pointed it out it was, where his voice is on there calling somebody a bitch and killing somebody. And so you wanted the story to be, you blanked that portion of this event out.
Pressed on why he didn't call the police, Smith claims fear that no one would believe him. The detectives counter with the absurdity of his actions, photographing and holding on to the evidence for days. Smith's facade begins to crack under the relentless pressure.
if you hypnotize me now, I can tell you, you'll see. I'll say I don't know. Please, I don't know. I don't know. I cannot remember this. I cannot remember this.
See, we're both...
This... I don't remember taking the photos on the back of the truck. The timestamps, I know about these things. I've got an IT background. I know
You
exactly,
know it's accurate.
I know exactly. And you can't really even fool that.
Can't be changed. Can't be updated.
If those come from my phone, then I took them. But I...
And we can tell that this is something that's going to be hard for you to talk about. Well, we can tell you that you're not telling the truth about remembering this event.
I do not remember this.
On these on the videos, on several of them,
Yeah.
in my movies, sadly, everybody dies. Bitch, what are my followers going to think of you? People need to know when they're being serial killed. These are things you're saying to her while you're doing that.
Why would I say that? That's
why we're
stupid to say
asking.
things like that.
You weren't anticipating that we were going to get a hold of this card, and you weren't anticipating that the railroad was going to drive by and see bones laying on the side of the railroad track. You didn't anticipate that.
What do you think a normal person, reasonable person, if I came out and I found a dead body in the back seat of my car or in the back of my truck, what would a reasonable person who's never had any contact with the law, as far as I know, right? Never had any negative contact with the law. There's video there that would explain it, right? If somebody put that body in the back of your truck, why would you not call... A reasonable person would call the police and say, hey, I found a dead body. What they wouldn't do is wait 2 days, keep the dead body in the back of their car, drive it home, park it in the driveway, and then take it out to a spot and not only dump the body over the guardrail, but take the other stuff that's with her to a different place.
The photos of the body in his truck along with other incriminating items, deliver a fatal blow to Smith's defense. He admits to being at the scene but continues to deny remembering what happened. The detectives refuse to back down, tightening the noose of truth.
What does that look like? And then take pictures of her in the back of your truck.
Yeah.
So nobody else could have done that.
I know. I'm not. I was the only person there when I dumped her. That's
So you're the only
I
person
must
that could have
have-
taken that photo, and it's on this SD card of you killing her.
What do you think should happen to somebody that does something like this?
Well, this is bad. I can tell you, this is not a nice thing to do, or to find out that you've done. You know, this is not nice. I don't like this. This is.
One of the things that we're doing, obviously, when in searching your house and searching your electronics, is looking through that. Is there any other evidence or things on your computers or your phones or anything else that are similar to this? Any videos of you doing anything? Any photographs of dead people? Anything like that they're going to find that we need to know about?
No. Like I said, the only thing is that girl that was on that sheet, that was under that suffocating girl. I might have saved that. Okay, and you will find some videos of me and Alicia doing stuff.
Sexual stuff.
Yeah.
Okay. Any besides the person that's in the under the tarp or whatever? That's the only thing that's going to be on it, or on the sheet. Who's that?
Smith shifts the focus, discussing his encounters with other women, but it only raises further questions. Could these behaviors be linked to the crime? His hesitant and fragmented responses suggest a deeper, darker connection.
That's a girl that I met, and we screwed a little bit, and once more time I cheated on my wife with this one, and she was passed out drunk. Yeah.
And when was that?
This was actually recently, a few weeks ago.
After or before you were at the hotel?
After this, yeah. She was drunk out of her mind. Yeah.
So after this, where did you meet her at?
This was probably at the homeless shelter. If you drive past there, you can find easy girls at $10, $20, they'll do anything.
Okay.
Yeah. And when I saw she was drunk like this, I was like, oh, here we go.
So did you pick her up?
Yeah, this girl I picked up, yeah.
Where'd you go?
I can't remember. This was when you go down the New Seward, you're going down the dip, there's a bank and there's a Ford garage here. There's a park over here. We stopped over there and on the side, we shagged a little bit, and I left her there. She was, like I said, she was drunk out of
By
her mind.
Shiloh Baptist Church, by the church there?
Yes, there's a little church here. I don't know the street names, but yeah, there's a little creek there, and there's a pathway there. There's two like big fields there, yeah. And there she was passed out, drunk out of her mind, yeah.
Where's she at now?
I don't know, I left her there. So she found her way home. Yeah.
As Smith's story grows increasingly implausible, the detectives stay relentless, probing his motives. Is this just another encounter gone wrong, or is there something more sinister lurking beneath the surface? His silence begins to speak louder than words.
So you had sex with her.
Yeah.
Okay. When did she get drunk to the point where she's passed out? It
well,
looks like it would be hard to have sex with her.
Oh, well, when I picked her up, she was drunk, and she had a bottle with her.
Okay.
So, and we sat there for a while, like 10 minutes or so, drinking, and then it was getting late, early in the morning, and I needed to get going. So I said, let's just finish everything, and yeah.
So earlier you said maybe 3 times in a couple years, and now we already have 3.
Yeah, so
In about a month. So are we sure that you?
No, well, before this girl from this night, there was probably about 3 times that I've picked up a girl.
So maybe 6.
Yeah, sorry, when I said 3, it was 3 before this. So 3, 4, 5, yeah.
6.
Yeah.
What was her name?
I don't know. I don't even remember what we spoke about.
How much do you remember how much you paid her?
I don't think I even paid her.
Because she like that, you didn't have to.
She was drunk, yeah.
What about the other gal?
And that's convenient, that, you know.
I'm just curious.
We did try.
Do you wear protection? That's just for my curiosity. Do you wear a condom?
Yeah, I did. Usually, if a girl's the first 3 I didn't, put it that way, and then the short-haired girl I didn't.
Okay.
Yeah. So, but
how about her? Did you have sex with her? No.
I don't know.
Oh. Brian, we're getting to the point where it's almost getting ridiculous for us to continue.
Listen, if you want me to...
No, what I want you to do is just, I think you remember this, and I think apparently the explanation is that this other person that does this is somebody you don't want to tell us about or whatever.
I'm not schizophrenic. I don't have...
No, I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that you're schizophrenic,
you know.
but you're living 2 different lives, right?
Yeah.
The detectives zero in on Smith's psychology, highlighting the duality of his life. Was it anger, frustration, or something else that led him to this moment? The question hangs heavy in the air, cutting through Smith's fragile denials.
That's what people do sometimes if they, frankly, when they kill somebody. Nobody knows that that they're that kind of person. They're even capable. Your wife is, I'm sure, sitting here telling the detectives that no way, you have the wrong guy. Right? Mm. But there is this other person that does this stuff. Mm. Right? And is it because you don't want anybody else to know that person, that you're capable of that, or that?
Well, obviously I don't want people to know that I pick up girls. I don't want anyone to know.
All right, but we just need to know. And it sounds like when you left the house, you were very angry. So
I was.
All right, so what we need to know is how this and this, all this apparent consensual stuff, got from that to this. Did you do this to her because you were angry at your wife?
No.
And your wife rejected you, and you were, what?
No, my wife has never rejected me, but my wife actually, she wants to have a more physical relationship. But
it hasn't been happening, right?
Yeah, it hasn't been happening. It's difficult it's complicated to understand. I once told her that she spoiled sex because it's such a procedure to get the whole thing going, you know.
So what was the difference between these girls, this girl? What happened those times? What happened this time compared to those times? Because something happened in there. And I think we kind of got close to it a minute ago, that these girls were immediately like, let's do it. And same with Alicia, like, let's go. Like she said, hurry up.
Smith admits to marital struggles and his reasons for seeking other relationships. Yet, the detectives remain focused. What made this encounter different? What caused him to lose control this time? His excuses crumble as the weight of evidence looms over him.
And I think that's something you got used to. That was the convenience and the, hey, we're going to get this going. And I think something happened with her. And I know you remember her. I know you remember this girl. And
do you remember that photo? Because you don't remember these cars. Do you remember taking that on your phone?
No.
So you don't. So you don't remember taking this photograph?
No, that is me. That's my stomach. That's definitely me. Let's put it this way. This might sound bad, but it wouldn't have been such a big deal that I remember that photograph, you know. I might have just wanted to record me and a girl doing something, you know, like yeah, just take a photo of
But
us.
you remember taking that?
I remember taking photographs of this girl.
And you remember taking
She
this?
had an amazing little bum. Yeah. This was a. This is gonna sound sick, but it was like a joke, you know, like a.
I did that. I was
She's
poster, and I just did her and
drunk,
left
you
her
know?
there. So you remember that?
Yeah.
Do you remember that?
I don't remember. It wasn't a big event, so yes, I took that photo. Yes, I did, but I don't remember physically taking it. I don't remember.
But you remember taking all those. So,
I remember taking photos of this girl. She had a very, very nice little.
so
bump.
the only thing you don't remember doing is taking pictures of this dead girl. You remember all these other people, but you don't remember the dead one.
This I don't remember. I don't. I do not. I know you don't believe me. I know you don't believe me. I do not remember this. I do not remember this. I do not remember that.
Brian Smith clings to his denials, but cracks are beginning to show. He admits remembering photos of other women, but claims to have no memory of the victim's images. This inconsistency raises the question, is he truly forgetful, or is this a clumsy attempt at concealment?
I do not remember it.
I mean, he documented the whole thing basically with photographs. So you don't remember any of these photos. Close-ups, general views, mid-range views, close-up.
Jesus.
It's pretty convenient that you remember all these other photos, but there's one particular ones you don't remember.
I know what it sounds like, but I do. I'm not trying to say I blacked out. You asked me a question if I've ever blacked out. I answered you honestly on that. I'm not saying I blacked out on anything else. I'm just saying I do not remember this. I don't remember doing this.
Are you in disbelief that you did something like this?
I do not believe I can't believe I could have done this.
It's different than the person when you go out at night and pick up prostitutes, and for whatever reason on this night it went bad. You either planned it to be like that, and that's why you got the hotel room. All right, and the Adidas bag or the duffel bag or backpack or whatever it is that you carry with you, that you had with you that night, is the kit that you used, or that just happens to be the clothes that you took out with you when you left. All right, and because there's photographs of that. All right, so I think at this point, with everything that you've seen, you owe it to yourself.
You know, I left home. I just grabbed a work shirt and a work pants. Mm-hmm. So I went and got more clothes. I bought a bag and I bought clothes, jeans and shirt and stuff like that. So that's what I was carrying around with me. It's not a kit of that. I went and bought clothes.
Okay.
So yeah, I'm not a premeditated person that's doing things.
Good. I'm glad that you're not that person.
Yeah.
So then there's another explanation for what happened here. It wasn't that you went out that night looking for somebody to bring back to my hotel room and kill. You went out that night to find one of these girls, right? And you found one, and you took her to the hotel room, and then instead of just taking photos and leaving them, this happened. And you're the only one that can provide an explanation as to why this type of behavior, this person.
The detectives press harder. Was this a calculated act or a fantasy gone horribly wrong? Smith hesitantly admits things may have spiraled out of control, yet his shaky statements and tense demeanor betray the mounting pressure.
Turned into this, whether this was intentional or whether it was an accident. The only way this could be an accident is you fulfilling some type of fantasy by videoing it and it going too far, because it's on video. So you either intended to kill her, or you intended to videotape this for yourself, and it went too far.
That's probably what happened. But
which one is probably what happened?
something went too far.
Okay.
Yeah, but I'm yeah. I don't remember this. I'm not going to say believe me because that's a trigger word, but I don't remember this.
While you were on your trip, another thing that you were looking up is basically making a confession to the police on your deathbed. Something you Googled, something you were searching. Can you tell me about that?
I did not do that.
Well, it was in your search history on your Google.
I did not search making a confession on my deathbed. I did not do that.
Anybody else have your phone while you were gone?
No. My wife and myself were together. She doesn't know how to use a phone at all.
Even Smith's Google search history comes under scrutiny. Detectives point out a search about deathbed confessions, but Smith denies any involvement. His explanation falters, and the room grows heavier with the weight of unanswered questions.
So, yeah. No, I did not Google it. Whoever told you that is telling you a lie. Or, if you search something, there's sometimes a result of stuff, and you don't know what the result is. But I would never search about anything like that. And if I log into your computer now with my Gmail account, and I type anything in there, it'll show me everything I've ever Googled. So I can prove it to you right now. Yeah.
So are you okay with, like I said, because this is big, everybody's going to hear about this. Are you okay with everybody knowing that, the big revelation in this thing was, I don't remember. I don't remember. Are you okay with it being like that? You okay going out like that with them knowing that this was his explanation? You think everybody's going to understand that?
No one's going to believe it. I don't believe it. Well,
everybody's going to believe that it happened because we're going to go. We have evidence to show that it happened. We can show them exactly when it happened, where it happened, where you dumped the body. We can show them everything.
Yeah.
So everybody's going to believe that it happened.
Yeah.
Everybody's going to know that it happened. But what they're not going to understand, and like I said earlier, people aren't going to understand it when somebody lies. And people aren't going to understand, I don't remember. Because they're going to know that you remember that are the other girls. But it's the convenience of, I don't remember this one particular time when he ends up dead and in a ditch and found, several weeks later, bones.
The detectives push for the truth, highlighting the absurdity of Smith remembering everything except the murder. They suggest the public might understand if Smith offers a clear explanation, but his continued denials only deepen their suspicions.
And people would understand if, like the reasons we gave you, that something happened, there was a reaction. She made you mad. She changed your mind. She ruined the plan that you had. She ruined that, not necessarily a fantasy, but you had it kind of scoped out of what was going to happen in that room that night. And people would understand that. People get that. People know you're human. People understand human make mistakes. People get human nature and, that drive, that determination. People understand that when something changes and something like that, it can make you upset, it can make you mad. People understand that. Like when they hear if you say that happened and people understand that, you hear that, like, okay, well, I get that.
Well, me too. I wouldn't believe someone who said I didn't. Like I said to you right in the beginning, if I was on a anger trip or whatever, the first moment you hit somebody, you'll come out of it. You sober up from the first little hit on the person.
Well, that's not what you did.
Because they kept going for like 30 minutes.
Yeah, so that's...
You put your hand on her throat, called her some names, you slapped her vagina, you kicked her vagina. You told her she was going to die. So you didn't come out of it.
Yeah,
you came out of it the next morning when you found the body in your truck, apparently. But then you really can't argue that because you actually took photos of her 2 days later in the back of your truck of this body you just found in the back of your truck. and you're telling us how you took photos of these other women, kind of to bolster, but yet you don't want to admit that that's what that last photo was of her at 1:10 in the morning at mile 108.5, where your phone was, where your Google was, and where that photo was taken.
Mm-hmm.
That was bolstering for what you did to her the previous night, just like this is bolstering what you did to her. This is just a lesser degree. This is just what everybody does. This just went one step further.
The focus shifts to motive as detectives detail Smith's actions in the video, describing them as deliberate and calculated. Smith denies the accusations, but questions about his past raise doubts about whether this was truly an isolated incident.
You get to write the press statement instead of the press making it up.
Mm. I don't know why I would have done this. I don't know why I would have. I know I get angry. I know how to handle anger. Many years ago, a customer of mine who was a psychologist told me that I'm one of those people that keeps in anger. And she said, if I ever get angry, I must let it out immediately. She said, don't keep it in, and that's what I do. When I get angry, I'll let it out. I don't let it build up. I used to 20 years ago, but I don't. So I don't know why I would have done this. It can't. What I'm trying to say is it can't be anger, it can't be rejection, it can't be that my dick didn't go up.
Smith begins to falter, admitting this was his first incident and calling it an isolated mistake. Yet, his hesitation and anxious expressions cast doubt on his credibility, leaving room for further investigation.
It's pretty controlled. It's pretty specific.
Mm.
It's pretty targeted. I don't think that either. I mean, it's pretty calculated. You obviously know what you're doing. You're telling her what you're doing. You're telling the viewers, in this case happens to be the police, what you're doing. It's pretty calculated.
Mm.
There's some anger that comes out, but it's very controlled, very intentional, callous act.
You're very comfortable doing it too.
Mm.
Which makes us concerned. Is this the only person that you've ever killed? Or do we need to be looking for other people? Is your phone going to be at other places where we've found dead bodies in Anchorage since 2016? Is your Google going to show us there? Are we going to have any other evidence at any other hotels that this has happened? Or is this the only time that you've carried this out to this far? And that's why you didn't know what to do the next day. And that's why she stayed in your truck for 2 days, even though she was dripping out. And that's why you only took her to mile 108.5, because you freaked out.
Well, I did. I was panicking.
So to answer that, do we need to be investigating you for a serial killer, for other types of...
No.
Okay, so...
Yeah, so sorry.
But,
no,
or is this the only time that this is something like this has happened, and this is an isolated incident that happened?
The pressure mounts as detectives probe whether Smith could be linked to other crimes. While he denies any prior incidents, the room thickens with tension as every piece of evidence seems to circle back to him.
I have never done anything else.
Okay.
That could be.
Thank you. Okay.
I'm sort of convinced I've done this. Obviously, I have, but no,
Well,
I've never. I don't think I've ever. Not, I don't think, but I've.
So an explanation for this would probably explain to us that that's never happened before. If you told us what happened here and why, we might be able to glean into that it hasn't happened before. But at this point, the way this went down and everything else that we have, it seems like we have to look at you for other possible stuff. And unless we have an explanation as to why this one-time incident happened, and it didn't happen to these people the days before, and then this happened.
No, let's put it this way: I've never found anyone else in any of my vehicles. Put it that way. No, I wouldn't. No, I haven't done anything. Put it that way.
So you've never done anything else. This weekend was an isolated incident where you went on this.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. This would be isolated.
Because it was 4 at least in one weekend or several days.
Well, one night.
Smith finally admits to having 2 women at the hotel during his stay, including the victim. His account remains vague, failing to shed light on what truly transpired with the victim on that fateful night.
Well, these aren't all on one night. 2 different hotels.
No, well, this event, yeah.
This was the only one at that hotel. Is this the only girl you had at the Midtown Marriott?
No, I had a short-haired girl. I picked up a short-haired girl.
So you had 2 girls at that hotel over the 2 days you were there.
No,
You had this girl here.
yeah. So
And
this one and that
you-
one.
Okay, so you had this one and the short-haired girl
Yeah.
at that hotel.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's talk about
So-
this one.
The second night, which is apparently when this happened. No, when this happened. Okay, well, this happened the second night. Let's put it that way.
This happened on the 4th.
Yeah. That short-haired girl, I picked up on the 4th, and the morning of the 5th, I dropped her off at work.
And did you say her hair was colored or something, or
Oh yes, there was colour in it.
what color?
I don't remember.
But it was not black or brown. It was some color.
I'm sure there was colour. I'm sure she had colour in her hair. I don't remember too well. I was drunk.
Okay.
I'm even thinking now, was she just shaved and it was long? Look, you're obviously going to go there tomorrow and go look at the people there, and so you'll see. You'll find her.
Smith hesitates, attempting to justify his fragmented memories while the detectives persist in pressing him for the truth. His vague answers only deepen suspicions. Is he hiding something far more sinister?
Okay.
Yeah, I don't remember her name.
But this girl that doesn't have shaved sides or colored hair, that has dark hair, this girl was the same night you had the short-haired girl, or a different night?
Well, that's what I'm thinking now. Is that the same girl?
I mean, this is going to be time and date stamped also.
Yeah, and I don't remember specifically that photo. You do know I've got a habit of taking photos, so I'm not denying taking.
Yeah, no.
I can't remember. It's probably this girl.
I mean, we can see you like taking photos of
Yeah,
the people that you're with, and in this case, what you did.
yeah. But so many photos. I mean, usually I'll just take 1 or 2, take a little video, you know.
But this was a.
This is a lot of stuff.
Yeah, no, this was happening.
And I do not have a YouTube channel where I post snuff videos. I do not have a thing like that.
Okay.
Well, I don't think they allow that on YouTube.
Yeah,
Anything like that.
well,
at all.
they-
I mean, we're going to find it. If you've posted anything, we're going to know.
Yeah, well, I don't. I don't have that kind of thing where I post videos of things. The videos of Alicia and myself, I've got on an adult website. So, but that's me and hers, and she knows about them, and that's it.
What's the website?
Oh, it's called Euro Profile.
How do you spell it? Euro? Like Euro?
ERO
ERO
Profile.
Profile.
Yeah.
Dot.
Com.
What's your member name on there?
Oh, it's over 18.
Over 18
Yeah.
is your account
Yeah, it's
number
mine.
name?
Yeah.
Okay.
I can, if you just as a warning, if you want to go there, put on your antiviruses and your anti-pop-ups and stuff, because that's how they make their money, is putting viruses and stuff on your computer.
Right. So just videos of you and Alicia on there.
Oh yeah,
We'll find that account, so we're not going to see any of these videos. I mean, 'cause we've already seen these videos. Are we going to see anything else like that on there?
one of the girls I picked up some other time, I've got a little video of her as well.
Do people follow that website? Like, do they follow a specifically your over 18 name?
This Euro profile is it's just a community of people that are.
Faced with undeniable evidence, Smith refuses to confront it. Hearing his own voice in the videos terrifies him. To the detectives, this isn't just proof. It's an echo of an irrefutable truth.
Open sexually.
Okay.
You know, you and your wife or swingers or whatever, you post photos.
And everybody can see it.
Yeah, so and you make friends with people. I've got a group of friends on there.
Okay. Are we going to find any of these videos on there?
No, they don't allow bestiality or anything funny like that. No.
Somebody monitors it.
Yeah, so that's why why would I video it? I don't understand why I would video something stupid like this.
And talk about your followers.
And talk about things like that. I don't know why I would do that. I know this doesn't mean anything, but I'm
There's not a...
sorry I'm putting you through this.
No, you don't have to be sorry. This is what we do. There's not
Yeah, but you could be sitting at home dealing with real criminals.
I'm going to figure out how to way to do it, but we're going to go over the...
Okay.
So, I don't see that.
Some of these new ones actually don't have DVD drives.
It may not have one, so we'll figure something out.
No,
there
you
in
don't
a
have
little
one,
bit, so, okay.
Do we need to show you that?
I don't want to see anything like it. I'll get nightmares. The voice, hearing my voice there is already enough to give me nightmares, you know. I believe you that I've done something.
Are you afraid of what you're going to see on there?
Yeah, I don't want to see.
You know what's on there.
Well, if it's anything to do with these photographs,
It's all of those.
Yeah.
It's those.
yeah.
And then 16 or 18 videos or...
Jesus.
Smith is forced to confront the duality of his character. On one side is the ordinary man, on the other, a ruthless figure lurking in the shadows. The detectives press harder, determined to uncover the truth buried deep in his mind.
Basically, what this does, looking at this, makes you realize you know what happened, and it's just going to make it 100% that much more real that it happened, and it's going to be that much harder for you to say I don't remember, I don't recall that. That can't be me. You're not going to be able to say that. You're already almost to that point where you can't say that anyway because you already see what we have, and so we talked about it a minute ago about. There's the you that goes to Virginia with your wife, and you go to work and you live a normal life, and then there's that other person that you just can't quite, you can't just come out and talk about that other person, the other things that the other person does, the girls, the having sex with girls on the grass, and homeless girls, and going in tents with homeless girls. That's that other person, and you can't. You're just trying to act like that's not happening, that person didn't happen.
Going into tents.
Well, you were at a homeless camp with this girl in the grass there, so I mean.
Oh no! This was that man that. It wasn't a homeless camp. We would park there. In the daytime, people would park there. But I parked next to the bushes. I parked next to the bushes. So basically, I'd like to maybe see this, but I've got enough to believe. I believe you. I believe you. I just cannot understand why I would do something like this.
The detectives dismantle Smith's story piece by piece. His actions, videos, and photos all point to a calculated plan. Smith's shifting gaze betrays the growing realization that his denials are crumbling.
And that's what your question is. Why would I do that?
I mean, we know you did it. You know you did it. We're just looking for, and there may not be a why that you think is reasonable, right?
Yeah.
But there is a why as to what happened. We might not know why it happened, but you know what happened. You're gonna see what happened. You're gonna see what you did.
I just don't know why would I get angry like that?
You're not angry.
Yeah. So you said
No, you're very calculated. You're narrating in it.
Why would I say I've got an audience?
I'm not saying that you have an audience, but you're clearly talking to. You're not just talking to her. You're narrating this, and it's because of whatever fantasy it is that you have in your mind. Whether you're going to share this with other people or you intended on it, I don't know, but you certainly intended on viewing it yourself. And you're clearly exerting power over this person. What do you think up until that point?
That girl's dying. It's my hand. It's my arm.
No, it's not going to be very hard to figure. Like I said, when this gets on a 55-inch TV.
Yeah. There's no voice in this one.
That's TV in the background.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Hotel room TV.
Yeah. She's alive there.
Yeah, there.
Smith admits that everything he did was meticulously documented, from his real name to his truck. He calls it stupid, but the evidence tells a different story. Recklessness and arrogance brought him to this brink.
Camera, babe. That's my voice. Fine now. My hands in tired. Fucking. Just. I don't talk like that. Just.
Bradley Phillips does, or whoever that is, then.
Let's do this. No, Bradley's a naughty person. Bradley's a naughty person. He's just tells dirty jokes and he's racist. He can make racist jokes and stuff like that.
It's clear to say in your life, in your normal life, this is not something that you do on a regular basis.
No.
This is not something your wife role plays with you. This isn't even something that, to this extent. Did you go this far with Alicia?
No. Alicia and I would. She would say, put my thumbs like that, and.
So how and why?
And I would block Alicia.
So how does the good person in you, that other person who's not the good person, who's out picking up prostitutes, get to the point where this is what this person's doing? And you may not have an answer as to why you did that.
I don't know why I would do something like this. I do not know. I do not know. I did not realize this. I did not know this.
No.
You didn't know it, Brian.
Yeah. You're still saying you didn't know that.
Was this truly a one-time incident? The detectives remain unconvinced by Smith's denials. The details he recorded raise a chilling question. How many secrets remain hidden in the dark?
Brian, you knew what you did. You knew what you did in the SD card, and you had it in your head. You had that little bit of glim of light that maybe they haven't found that SD card. Maybe they don't have that SD card, and they'll never tie that body over there to me. You had that little bit of hope, but then you were on the other side. You're like, but if they did, this is what I'm going to be ready. This is what I'm going to say. And
You clearly didn't know you were going to have your license plate in the photos, right?
Yeah, that's. I would not do. If I had to do something like this, I would not do that.
That's right. You wouldn't plan that this way.
Yeah.
Right. So clearly it wasn't planned.
Yeah.
It wasn't thought out very well. It was something that happened.
Yeah.
But it wasn't something that was planned. There was absolutely. You can tell there's no planning on this.
Yeah. Yes. It's stupid. It doesn't make sense. This is someone who's an amateur. Doesn't know what the hell they're doing.
Well, this is you.
And I'm cleverer than that.
you are. And so you would have never, you didn't need to lose that SD card. You didn't need for it to end up in our hands, because you know in your head that if we had never found that SD card, then we wouldn't even be here right now, would we?
Yeah.
But now you know, now you realize that we do,
Mm.
and now you're trying to figure out how to get yourself out of it.
I can't get out of it. You got evidence. I'm going to the chair. You
Right.
There's more than
So,
enough information.
so with everything that we have here, the smart Brian Smith is going to sit here and say, I remember everything except the time I picked her up and where, until the next day when this person just happens to be in the back of my truck, and I wait 2 days because I don't know what to do, and then I happen to just take a picture because I don't remember what I did. And I thought, well, I'll just take a picture of this dead person who I find in the back of my truck. No, this is you bolstering,
Yeah.
just like you did with the drunk prostitute that you just had sex with that probably doesn't even know you had sex with her.
Yeah.
And your words, this is just you bolstering.
Yeah.
This is just you bolstering also, right? Both of these are the not.
Smith's fear begins to surface. He admits there's no escaping the evidence. His words tremble in the tense atmosphere, as though he's confronting his own reflection for the first time.
Smart
Yeah.
Brian Smith, because not smart Brian Smith wouldn't go out and have dangerous sex with someone who's probably had sex with God knows how many people.
Yeah.
So that's the type of second life or whatever that you have going on. Right? But the Brian Smith knows that that's happened. The smart Brian Smith. And he has to know that there's a logical explanation that maybe that doesn't make sense to people, or it sounds weird, or it sounds kinky, or it sounds bad. But the video portrays that. There's no getting around that. So
Yeah.
there's no getting around the way you're talking, the how direct you're being, how intentional you're being, with the narrative that you're doing. What's the smart Brian Smith going to say?
I can tell you that I am worried that I'm going to say something that's going to... Look, I'm in trouble. I know I'm in trouble. There's no lying, but I'm scared I say something that gets me into worse trouble. That makes it look like I'm a really bad person. I am a really bad person, according to this.
So you're worried that you could say something that would make you sound worse than you
Than
picked
what I
up.
really am, yeah.
So we already know what you are and what you did this night, right?
Mm-hmm.
What do you think of yourself?
I don't like it. I'm disgusted that I've done something like this.
Do you think that, and I'm not saying it was entirely intentional, but do you think that you, the good Brian that we're talking to, apparently we haven't seen the bad Brian yet because bad Brian did this, do you think good Brian wanted bad Brian to get caught? That's why somebody made it so easy for us?
In the end, Smith admits to his carelessness and lack of planning. But this doesn't absolve him. His actions reveal not only poor judgment but also dangerous overconfidence, as if he wanted to be caught.
So we're not at a stalemate. I've done that. I just don't know why.
You just have no explanation for good or bad of why you did it, why it happened.
Yeah. The photographs are stupid. You say that somebody took the SD card out of my truck and I said, no, give it back, it belongs to work or something. That's what you said. If I knew, if I was trying to hide away and not get caught, I would not let something like it happen. I wouldn't have
Seems
an SD
careless.
card. I wouldn't have an SD card.
But all this seems careless too.
That's somebody that wants to get caught. And you're in a hotel room, for God's sake.
In your own hotel, in your own chain of, using your own name with your own employee discount,
Yeah.
with your own truck, documenting every step of what you did.
And if I think of it, at University Lake, when I started there, I was a driver. And I did night shift for a few times. And at night time, the building's quiet. Like at 11, 12 o'clock at night, like this, the building's quiet. if somebody just has a slight little scream, the neighbors hear about it. And I remember being called, I'm sitting there waiting to pick up somebody at the airport, and I'd have to go to room 122 or whatever, because there's a disturbance. There's someone screaming in the room. So doing something like this, I mean, you've got to silence somebody instantly so they don't scream. I mean, that is a huge risk, doing that with people all around you. That could hear it and could phone the police the moment they hear it.
But you can see the photo you took with you in it. Look what she's unconscious. She's drank so much that she's unconscious or something. Doesn't appear to be beat up there yet, but it hasn't started yet, but it's about to.
So I'm not going to see my wife again.
Well, that depends on what she does. I don't know if they're done talking to her. I don't know what the extent of that is. I doubt very much we're done at your house. But we're seizing everything. We have a search warrant to search the house. We've taken the truck. We have a search warrant to search the truck, obviously for biological evidence. And I don't know what all we're going to find. Or what else? Are we going to find anything else in those searches?
I don't know.
You don't know? Have you ever killed anybody else? I'll just be straight up with you.
No.
Are we going to find any evidence that you're attached to any missing persons either here or South Africa?
No, that's big talk. I told you that was just big talk between.
Okay, I wouldn't be doing my job if I didn't.
Yeah,
ask,
you have to ask. Yeah.
Right, because the video that we watch, frankly, it doesn't look like an amateur. Everything else does, but it doesn't look like the person in that video. It doesn't look like it's the first time they've killed somebody. You're enjoying yourself, killing her.
So if there's something else we need to talk about, now would be the time to do it.
In the interrogation room, Smith's unease becomes glaringly evident as detectives announce the search warrant. They'll collect his DNA, confiscate his clothes, and examine his truck. When told he'll be going to jail, Smith looks stunned, asking if he'll ever see his wife again. The detectives, calm yet firm, remind him that his past is quickly unraveling.
There's not. Have you been involved in any missing persons or any other murders in the state of Alaska?
No, I have not.
No, it's just this one. This is the only person you've ever killed.
Yes.
And so we don't need to be looking at other people.
No.
Okay. We probably won't take you
My
at that
word
word.
for it, because
We probably are obligated to look at everything you've been doing since you got here, based on the talk that you've been talking, whether it's real or not real, and see where your phone's been and where you've been.
Okay. Oh, that's understandable. You got to do it.
Okay.
Yeah.
One last question. I'm sorry, go ahead.
Yeah. But please find that girl at the homeless place.
We'll look for him. You know, and as many girls as you've picked up, frankly,
Yeah.
it looks like we're going to have to talk to quite a few girls to see what type of encounter they had with you. Would that be fair to say that are we going to find any other girls that are going to tell us that, yeah, he liked choking, he liked me to talk dirty to him, he might, what kind of fetish, what kind of things are we going to hear from these girls? Because they have a pretty good memory, especially someone with your accent and your vehicle.
Yes. I have not.
The detectives make no attempt to hide their skepticism. They confront Smith, emphasizing that the video evidence doesn't suggest a first-time killer. As Smith stubbornly denies it, his eyes betray an internal conflict, caught between the truth and his lies.
I have not tried to choke anybody. No, I've not tried to choke.
Okay,
anybody.
You saying that, this makes me, I can't get past why this happened then. I can't understand if you're sitting here adamantly telling us that there's nobody else. You've never done this before. You haven't even acted this out with a prostitute. You've never, or a homeless person, you've never choked anybody or anything. And then it goes from 0 to 100 and somebody's dead. And so I'm just so curious as to why Bad Brian or Bradley or whatever, how that would happen, and what the thought process was in that person's mind when that happened. But only he knows. Only he knows. and he's trying to reconcile with it in himself apparently. But that's I think that, and I hope that someday, because we've been so fair with you, I hope that someday when you are ready to talk about this, that you're willing to do that, so that we can learn and so that we can understand that. Because what we've been doing for the last week or days is looking at that thing, that video and those photographs, studying you and trying to figure it out. So if you ever get to that point where you're willing to talk and tell us why, if you can figure that out,
I owe you that.
I would appreciate it.
Yeah.
Keep that with you.
Well, if I'm going to prison, I'm not going to.
You'll get to keep that. You get to make phone calls.
I got no one to talk to now.
What's that?
I've got no one to talk to now, so none of my friends will ever.
Well,
this is my fault. I've dug my own grave here. I did this to myself. I can't blame anybody else, you know. So, Brendan. Yeah.
Smith continues to insist this was a one-time act, but the detectives remain steadfast. They point out that his actions were neither impulsive nor accidental, but deliberate and calculated. Under pressure, Smith struggles to explain, trapped by the weight of his own deception.
The one thing I wanted to ask you is your truck. Did you ever wash it out, spray it out, anything like that?
After she
you
was
dumped
in
the
it.
body?
Are we going to find biological evidence in your truck? Did you bleach it? Did you wash it?
At the back, I had a piece of carpeting at the back, and there was a bit of blood on it. So I cut that piece of carpet out and I tossed it in a dumpster, and I did spray bleach on there to try and kill the germs and whatever. That was a wise thing to do, unlike everything else. So yeah, so you'll see the back of my truck. It's cut, you know. And
All right. I think let's get him a pee break and that kind of stuff before we do that.
no, I'm fine for.
We have to take one, so I think we might as well send them. Let you go down there first.
I'll go with you.
No, just have a seat. We'll have time to get somebody.
Okay.
What is the time roughly now?
8:39.
So it won't be too late.
I don't know.
Oh, I'm just keeping you out of your family time. You know.
About
We've been busy for. I've slept much in the last week.
On my case, or other cases.
Well, yeah, that and other cases. We'll be right back, sir.
Smith admits to trying to erase evidence from his truck, but his clumsy efforts only heighten the detective's suspicions. A cut-up carpet, bleach to scrub away blood. His actions reveal more than the words he uses to defend himself.
Here's what it explains. Actually, that one's first. This is a supplement to it. These are what we're going to be seizing. It's not much, like I said. It's a known DNA, photographs of you clothed and unload. We already have your cell phone.
Okay.
And then we're going to be taking your shoes, and then they're going to be seizing your clothing once you get down to the jail. That way you can wear your clothes down there.
Okay. Are you guys in a rush to go home?
Are we in a rush?
Yeah.
Do you want to talk some more?
We're not in a rush. We got
all night.
I have 2 days.
I saw your ears do that.
You know what? I mean, that's what we do. We love to talk.
Some time ago, I can't remember when, I picked up a very drunk girl. My wife was gone. She was away for the weekend. I had to go home, and I shot her. I know you guys are doing good cop, bad cop.
We're not really trying to do that. We're both pretty good cops, I think.
I think we're
Yeah,
really good. Yeah.
that's what I can't understand. You're both trying to be good. Who's the
Well,
bad?
we are just good. We don't do the good cop.
And,
Yeah.
and I appreciate that, and everything you've done I really appreciate that.
Then, out of nowhere, Smith confesses to another murder. The chilling tale begins with a drunk homeless woman and ends in tragedy fueled by senseless rage. His revelation deepens the tension in the room. The detectives, laser-focused, latch onto every detail.
And I know I'm gonna burn already, so And I don't want you to have to waste your time.
We appreciate that.
But yeah, so I shot this girl, and then I went and dumped her out on that little side road going towards Butte. When you turn off the highway.
By the Exclutant power plant?
Yeah, around about that area, yeah. You must have found her.
You may have. How long ago was that about?
Oh my God, 2, 3, maybe 3 years ago.
3?
It was a long time ago.
What time of year was it?
It wasn't winter because it was green.
Okay.
Yeah.
So fall or summer?
I don't know.
Okay.
I'm really sorry. When I say I don't know, I mean it.
Okay.
You know? I'm sorry.
I appreciate
I'm
it.
saying really all the time.
I can believe that. It's
Yeah.
been 3 years.
Yeah. Yeah. My wife has gone. Yeah.
Do you remember where she went?
No, but she usually goes to her aunt in Kodiak. She usually goes and visits there now.
Her aunt? Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Sorry, I speak English.
I know.
Not American.
So who do you? What can you tell us about
Okay.
this girl?
So this girl was. I'd also just gone to the Safeway to go get something, and as I was driving off, she was on the side there, and she actually seemed like a nice person, and she wanted booze. I knew that. She was drunk. She had a half a bottle of R&R on her there, and I think that's actually why I stopped, because I had some booze, but I didn't know if I had enough. So I was like, you know.
Smith recounts his actions with an unsettling coldness. He describes taking a disturbing photo and later attempting to erase it, but the past refuses to be erased. When asked to pinpoint the location where he discarded the body, Smith agrees, realizing there's no way out.
That attracted me to her. I picked her up and I said, "Hey, you want some warm food and a warm place to sleep tonight?" And she was like, "Yes, sure." And she jumped in, but she was really drunk. She was slurring it, and I took her home, and she fell asleep on the couch in front of the TV, and she was smelling. I knew she was homeless then. You know, she was stinking, and I was getting upset. And I said to her, "Go take a shower," you know, because now there's smell in the house. You know, Stephanie would smell like there was a homeless person in the house, and she wouldn't do it. She kept saying no, and I was worried that she's going to vomit now, because then I realized that she really had been drinking a lot. No excuse, but I'd also been drinking a hell of a lot. Like I said, when Stephanie goes, that's Brian time. Or as you call it, Brad time. I can let my hair down. I can just relax and get rid of the whole stress of being married all the time. And I don't know. I clearly remember this. And again, I'm not lying to you. I don't remember. I can't visualize this girl. But I went through to the garage and I got my little pistol there, and I said to her, go shower, and she wouldn't, and I just did that, and I
While she was on the couch?
yeah, I just shot her. There was no.
As more details surface, Smith admits to using a gun to carry out his crime. His confession doesn't ease the room's tension, but instead adds weight to the detective's conclusion. This was no spontaneous act. Smith, a mix of calculation and carelessness, is a nightmare for any investigation.
The messed up thing, I can tell you honestly, there was no emotion there. It was just, you're not listening to me, go shower, you're not listening to me. You know, I knew that the longer she stays there, the worse trouble I'm going to get in with Stephanie. She's going to stink up the place. If she vomits on the carpet, it's going to be, you know. And
So do you remember if she was white, black, native?
oh, she was a native.
She was a native, yeah.
Oh, all those people, they are natives.
Do you remember how old she might have been?
She was a little bit older. Again, I battled to judge their ages because their skin's different to ours. So they usually...
And they look a little older than they are if they're homeless, probably.
Yeah,
What would you guess for you?
Mid-40s. Yeah.
Would you remember her hair length? Anything distinctive about her? Clothing she might have been wearing?
No. No.
Remember her name?
No, no,
Do you remember reading anything about any remains being found?
no. And I actually did look.
Okay.
Yeah. So actually, I did lie to you guys. Those pictures I showed Alicia, they were the real ones.
Of what?
Of her. I did have a photo of me trying to stick my fingers into her.
Vagina.
Yeah.
So that was a real photo of you doing that to the person you shot. Was that before or after you shot her?
After.
Okay.
Yeah. And so I actually did show that to Alicia, but I deleted those photos.
From what? What were those photos on?
They were on one of my old computers that I sold a long time ago already. I buy, you know, and I've replaced all my hard drives with Foster hard drives now. So that hard drive, and Alicia and myself actually had a conversation. She wanted me to prove, you know, because that was the thing that I'm like, prove it, Brian, prove it, you know. And so I thought to myself, I'm going to do something I never do, and I'm going to undelete these things.
Amid the interrogation, Smith finally reveals chilling truths. He confesses to having kept images and videos of the victim he shot dead. The story takes a darker turn as he describes erasing the files to cover his tracks. Could this be the calculated mind of a cold-hearted criminal, meticulously concealing his crimes?
And like I told you about the deleting, deletes it first, but and if you ever want to write something down, the computer looks for a place to write down, and all of those files, there was like 3 or whatever, they'd been overwritten to the point where the rest of the picture was dead. It was messed up. It couldn't be recovered. So.
If we got you a computer with Google Maps or something on it, would you be able to and be willing to show us about where you think you might have?
Yeah, I can show you.
Put her out there. We appreciate that. Do you? And you said your little pistol. What kind of pistol do you have?
Oh, it's a little.
You still have it?
Yeah, it's in my gun collection.
Okay. How many guns do you have? Everybody in Alaska has lots of guns.
Yeah.
You think it was a 22?
Yeah, it's a little green 22. It's a SGS 22.
This 22, this green SGS that you still have in your gun collection. Where's your gun collection at your house?
You go down the stairs. There's a little closet underneath the stairs, and I've made a little gun case there. And it's in a black pouch. It's either in a black pouch or it's in a brown bag, a leather bag. Because I went shooting the other day, and I took just pistol, so it might be in there. No, it's not there. It's in a black leather, a black.
So 22, that might have not had an exit wound. Did it mess the couch up? Which couch? For upstairs, downstairs?
No, it was downstairs. No, it didn't. There was no
downstairs
exit
on the couch. The same couch you have now.
Yeah.
And it didn't. So no exit wound.
Yeah, there was no exit wound. There was blood coming out. I put a towel over there.
Where did you hit her at?
Right here.
Temple on
yeah.
the side. Okay. Left on the right side.
On.
Smith recounts the murder as if replaying a movie scene. The small pistol in his hand became the tool to end a life coldly. The victim lay motionless on the sofa, while Smith seemed utterly indifferent. Is this the true nature of a remorseless killer?
On this side.
On her left side. Okay.
And that was, you know, when you guys kept talking about me gloating, and I'm seeing that, I'm realizing that about myself. It was like a movie scene.
Yeah.
In my eyes, it was like I was in a movie.
Well, you know, and honestly, that's what we're watching on that thing. I mean, it's like you're narrating an event that's happening and living as the moment's going on. Yeah. And so, where did you pick? This was at Cars Gamble where you picked her up, or at the Safeway?
Yeah, the Cars Gamble. Yeah, Safeway. Yeah.
Okay.
So when you guys mentioned about me not wanting to do anything else, you know, not having to wake up with funny things in my cars, I feel very guilty about that girl, that lady. She was a sweet lady. She was nice. The only thing,
This lady?
yeah,
Okay.
all she did to me was make my house stink.
And wouldn't go to the shower when you told her to.
I was going to grab her clothes, put in the washing machine, and it'll be dry by the time she's out.
Yeah,
you know?
like that.
So,
All right, I'll let you.
yeah. So, is this the road? Oh, okay. This is not so easy to see, but basically it's along yes, in the middle part here. I would say is it the power factory?
Yeah, the
Yeah.
hydroelectric
Yeah.
project. Yeah. So you keep going past it as it's on your left.
So it was.
He leads investigators to the site where he disposed of the body, a desolate road near a hydroelectric plant. Smith admits returning to the scene several times, not out of guilt, but to ensure there were no traces left behind. He even turned this story into a joke with his girlfriend, as if human life held no value to him.
It wasn't so far in, but it was that side of the road. There was just a little entrance going in, and if you're coming from this side, the little entrance is here, and then within a few feet, the Armco barrier starts. Those metal barriers.
Okay.
You also call them Armco.
So as you're coming back this way, it's on your right as you're describing, and then right before the barrier starts.
Yeah. So it's. And records.
You'd be surprised.
I'm gonna be on frickin' America's Dumbest Criminals.
There's some relief. It's got to be some relief.
I feel better. I feel a lot better. That's why I wanted to tell you about this. Man, it's over here somewhere. I'll go.
After committing murder, Smith acknowledges a shocking psychological shift. From a timid man, he suddenly felt powerful, confident, as if the act of taking a life elevated him to a new status. But could this newfound sense of power have paved the way for more heinous acts?
But it's basically almost like this road turns a little bit, and then there's a little. But okay, I know.
That long. There are
You think he's not specific about where it
it's
is.
somewhere along this. I know there weren't houses very close by.
Weren't houses. So this
Yeah.
is Twin Peaks Drive. You think it was before that?
There's a very good chance. Yeah. I actually took Alicia there because I was boasting.
You took her to.
Yeah, I was boasting to her, and but I knew. But this is like a year after, or 2 years after.
So you took her there about a year after it happened.
I knew it wasn't there. I knew the person wasn't there because I'd driven past a few times. And from the road, I could see that what I'd covered with was not there anymore.
Okay, so somebody had found it.
So that's why I know you guys must have found it.
Somebody found the remains before you took Alicia out there a year later.
Yeah.
Do you remember when you were out there and noticed that it was found?
I think I actually went past a few months later, like 3-4 months afterwards.
Okay, and so you took Alicia out there would have been in
So I
this time of year, maybe in 18? August of 18?
Yeah, around about this time, yeah, because it was close to, yes, she left in August. So it was, this whole thing of ours was like, because we knew we were leaving, she's leaving and stuff, so our whole thing like crescended the month before August.
So can you, just for time frame, can you tell me where you were working when this happened? You said 3 years ago, so we're looking at 2016. Can you tell me where you were working?
I
When
was
this
working
happened?
at Dow Engineering.
And what time frame did you work for them?
I was there from, I got here in 2014, the end of March 2014.
When discussing the second crime, Smith struggles to explain his ruthless and calculated actions. Is this the primal instinct of a murderer, or the consequence of a power trip sparked by his first killing?
I waited 8 months to get my social security number and a work permit.
So 8 months after March.
Then I worked for 6 months, almost 6 months exactly, because I was just eligible for unemployment. I worked for Alaska Tire Services, ATS.
Okay.
And one of the ladies there, her father worked at Dell, and he saw me that I was older than everybody else there. The other guys were like in their 20s, and yeah, I'm like in my 40s. And also, I started off there, and like within a month, they promoted me up.
At Dowell?
No, this is at the tire place.
Tire place, okay.
So the fact that I was quickly promoted showed that I wasn't just a normal little worker.
Yeah. So then you worked there 6 months, and then you went to work for Dowell?
Yeah, and then I went to work for Dell. And I think I started at Dell about July 15, then June, July 2015.
Okay.
So it would have been. I was at Dell for like 2.5 years or something like that, around about there. So it would have been in that time frame that I was working for Dell that this happened.
Okay.
So you haven't found somebody there? Does it mean an animal could have taken over?
That would have been troopers, and I know we have found remains in that area.
Okay. Yeah.
And I don't know whether it's her or not, but I know that there's been remains found in that area.
I've got a funny feeling I was... In my mind, my memory is that they found her very quickly. You know, it was like very soon.
Do you recall hearing it on the news, or how did you?
No. There was nothing on the news, and that's what I know. Well,
Smith reflects on his time in the South African military, but instead of finding peace, he allowed those memories to fuel his cold and detached mindset. He admits that after taking a life for the first time, nothing in the world seemed to scare him anymore.
I know that sometimes if something bad happens...
But you drove by it and noticed within 3 months or so that it wasn't there, you think?
Yeah, I'm sure it was within a few days they found it. Yeah.
Was there ever snow over her, or was it?
No.
So it was never. She was never there through a winter.
Well, I don't know, because once I knew there was, once I thought to myself there was nothing there. I never went to check again. Okay. Because that's how they catch you. They'll put cameras up and wait for you to come back and. You know, so
we'll see it on your Google. We'll see it on your phone or your GPS.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, and so in my mind, I was gloating to. Well, not gloating, but I was. Alicia and I were doing our little jokes about things, and this instant here, my little private joke in my head was that I actually took her to a real site, but we both, well, she thought that we were both joking about it, you know, because like I said, we were joking about all of our little things, you know.
But you made up the other part about where it happened and that kind of stuff.
Yeah, all the other stuff I made up, and it was, this just happened to be real, you know.
I'm just curious too. Then, when you had her picked, when you had her in your house there, did you have a gun handy? Did you have to go get the gun to come back and shoot her, or did you?
It was in the garage. Yeah.
So you had to go to the garage, get the gun, and come back.
Back then, I kept the guns in the garage, cleaning them and whatever. And I've always thought to myself, you know, during summer, I leave my truck outside in the driveway, and we already had people breaking into our vehicles. Just behind where I stay, there's a bird sanctuary and there's lots of homeless people there.
In a dimly lit house, Smith coldly recounts returning to the living room with a gun in hand. He didn't threaten or warn, just issued a cold command, "Go shower." When the victim didn't comply, he pulled the trigger without hesitation. A merciless act devoid of reason, driven only by irritation. In that moment, life was snatched away in a senseless burst of anger.
And they keep walking through, breaking into cars, stealing mail. So that's why finally I made a gun case for myself, a little display case, and that's what I've just finished making it like a month ago.
So when you got the gun and came back, did you say, get in the shower? Did you like threaten her with the gun to get in the shower, and she refused, or did you just come back and shoot her because she wasn't getting in the shower?
No, I told her go shower, go get
Did
up.
she see that you had a gun?
No,
Okay.
she was lying just looking at the TV.
Okay.
She was just drunk out of her mind as well, probably, you know. So, yeah. That was unprovoked. She didn't hit me, didn't hurt me, didn't do anything. She just pissed me off, you know. But this other one, I don't know. I don't know why.
You mean you remember and don't know why, or you still don't remember?
I don't know why I hurt this new girl.
But so, do you remember it and you just don't know why, or are
No,
you still at I don't remember?
I don't remember. I'm serious. I'm trying to bring the pictures into my head, and I can't.
Because what you did with this first gal in 3 years ago is cold blooded, but
Yeah, that was.
but what you did with this girl was pretty calculated and
That's why.
much worse than just shooting somebody
Yeah.
that didn't know they're going to get shot.
And maybe that is why I thought I must tell you that, so you can understand. Like you were saying, it's not your first time. It wasn't the first time, but you know, I was used to.
It came pretty easy to you. It's what we.
Yeah. Well, once you've seen a dead person, you.
Smith reveals that after committing his first murder, a strange sense of confidence surged within him. Fear disappeared, replaced by a disturbing sense of power. He compares it to scenarios he once imagined in the military. But this time, it wasn't imagination. He had actually killed someone. I knew I could do it, Smith says, a chilling affirmation of his own capabilities.
After that, honestly, I've always been a little bit shy and a little bit insecure because I'm short as well. You know, short guys always get bumped around the most. But after that, I started not being scared of people. It's like I could hurt you.
Gave you confidence.
You know, don't bug me. Don't piss me off. I know what I'm capable of doing, I've always wondered when I was in the military.
In South Africa?
Yeah, this was 88 to 89, or 89 till 1990. A lot of the guys were always scared to become infantry because a lot of guys would go to the bush, but they would never come back. You know, yeah, you call it post-traumatic stress. You know, and so I had wondered, you know, how would I react if I had to shoot an intruder or something, if I had to actually have blood on my hands, and that answered the question. You know, I could do it. The pictures of this new girl gross me out. But I know I can touch a dead person without squealing.
This girl a couple years ago, after you shot her, you said you put a towel against her head. She didn't have an exit wound, but she had some blood coming out of the side of her head. How did you get her out of the house? How did you get her out there?
I was picked up and
Did you wrap her in a towel or anything?
Yeah, I put a towel around her head.
Nothing else? No tarp, no blankets, no nothing like that? What did you leave out there with her? Did you leave the towel out there with her?
With tired eyes and a detached tone, Smith describes how he dealt with the body, wrapping it in a trash bag, scattering the victim's clothes along the road to avoid suspicion. His actions were carried out in panic, under the cover of night. I was scared of getting caught, but I didn't know what else to do, Smith says, painting an eerie picture of a truck carrying a black bag through the dark, silent roads.
I probably did. No, I didn't. I didn't leave the towel. I put her in a black bag, a black plastic bag.
Like a garbage bag?
Yeah.
And then you said you could see it, like what could you see?
Yeah, so when I left, as I drove out again, because I basically backed up in there and just, when I left and I looked back, I could see from the road, I could see the black bag.
Oh, okay.
So that's
It
why.
looks like a trash bag.
Yeah. So I don't think I left the towel there because the towel could have been linked to me.
Yeah.
So I didn't. And these were just normal black bags that you can get anywhere. So
And you left her clothes on. She had all her clothes and everything on.
no.
Naked?
Yeah.
Okay. What'd you do with her clothes?
As I was driving, whenever there was a clear spot, I would throw them out
Piece out?
to distribute them
On the
so
way
that they
out
weren't
or on the way back?
found in one thing. Because I mean, if you find a full layer of clothing in one spot, it's going to be suspicious.
On the way out or on the way back?
On the way out, I was, a shoe out here and a shoe out
And
there.
what vehicle did you have? The same truck?
Yeah. So
Did it have a canopy on it or a topper on it at the time?
no.
So she was just in the open bed of the truck in a garbage bag?
Yeah. So. And that was also like 3 o'clock in the morning or something like that.
When you took her out?
Yeah, it was early. So, I know if you're driving that road at like 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock, the police are out because they know it's all the drunk cars driving around. So, I was also scared, like, get rid of this person quickly as possible. Otherwise,
Smith goes on to reveal horrifying details about photos he stored on his computer, proof of his crime that he showed to his girlfriend. However, fear compelled him to delete them later. He even researched ways to erase bloodstains from the carpet using hydrogen peroxide, a calculated effort to erase all evidence of his gruesome act.
I was scared I wouldn't know what to do with it, with it. So that's why I drove out that late. I was falling asleep while I was driving. That's how tired I was,
Did you tell anybody else? I mean, I know you told Alicia, but she thought it was fake.
Yeah.
Did you tell anybody else about that?
No, because that's dangerous.
So do you have, and I know you had it, and you said you recovered your deleted stuff. Do you have some type of bad picture file, some type of vault, some type of something with these photographs in it?
I did, because I wanted to prove to Alicia that I actually did. So I actually did. I found them. I found them on the computer, and because we've been talking about it, I went and showed her. I said, "Yeah, this was it." But I deleted them because I was scared. I deleted the things, and I then did what I told you. I restarted the computer a few times,
Okay.
and that starts clearing off and deleting a lot of stuff.
How long was this woman at your house before you killed her? You picked her up at Karis Gamble.
Oh, it was probably about an hour.
No sex.
No. We talked a bit, but then she was like out of it as well. So, we couldn't have done anything. Yeah. So that's why I just put my fingers inside there. Just.
Your fingers, or did you fist her?
Well, that much.
Okay.
Yeah.
And that was when she was deceased?
Yeah.
In a disturbing recollection, Smith admits to returning to the crime scene months after the incident to ensure no traces remained. "I wanted to make sure everything was gone," he says. Shockingly, he even took his girlfriend to the site, treating it as a macabre joke. These actions seemed to feed a twisted sense of power he craved.
Was there any cleanup at your house? Blood on the floor? You might have already asked this, but any blood on the couch or floor or anything you had to
Oh yeah,
get rid of? Or...
there was a splats on the floor and stuff, and I cleaned it up.
Is it a carpeted floor, or is it a...
Yeah, it's carpeted. Yeah.
Same carpet?
Yeah, same carpet. Yeah. And I did go and Google that if you throw hydrogen peroxide on, it'll clear it up.
Does it stain the carpet though? Doesn't it bleach the carpet, hydrogen peroxide?
Well, some carpets it does, some it doesn't. So I tested on a little corner, it didn't stain it. So
is it completely? You look at it now, would you not see
oh,
it?
it's clean.
Same
With the
carpet.
naked
though?
eye it is.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and the hydrogen peroxide destroy, or I believe it destroys. So if you spray that stuff on, it doesn't show anything. Because that stuff is actually made up of hydrogen peroxide with display thing on it.
Is the couch in the same place it was then, or has it moved?
It's still in the same place, basically.
Would you mind drawing a diagram of that room where the couch is at and where you think the stain was?
Okay, so the bottom of the house looks like that. This is a little bar. Here's the TV. Here's the couch. So she was lying here.
Which end was her head on?
Her head was over here.
Okay. And so the stain's on the TV side or on this side?
Well, it'll be... I don't think there's any stains on the couch. If you find stains, they'll be on the floor, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I'm still on this native female that may be in her mid-40s. Does she have black hair? Does she have short hair, long hair?
I can't remember. I'm trying to picture it in my mind. I can't.
Smith confesses to feeling guilty but shows no remorse. He explains that the investigator's kindness prompted him to come clean. In a somber tone, he says, "I know I'll pay the price. One more crime won't change that." His words hang heavy in the air, freezing the room with tension.
I can't remember. It's actually dark downstairs. We've got usually I'll just have the TV on and no other lights. So the first good look I would have had is when she was inside. And I still told her when we were driving in, like, duck down, you know, so that the neighbors don't see you.
Didn't notice anything. Good teeth, bad teeth.
I'm sorry, I can't tell.
names, nothing. Okay.
She was older and she was nice. That's all I can tell you. If she had short hair, I would specifically have remembered that, but you know.
What made you? Is that something that we're going to find, or is that what made you decide that you wanted to talk about that? Is that something that we're going to find evidence of, or is that something that?
Well, I
appreciate it. I mean,
Yeah,
I think we suspected it, and we were hoping that it would be at some point in time. But.
Yeah, I thought about them. Yeah, it's you've been nice to me. I thought I'm already.
You can't undo that.
Yeah, I'm already going to jail for the rest of my freaking life. So, one more thing isn't going to hurt me, you know. I was worried, you know, but yeah, let's close another chapter, another family that can just.
Well, so hopefully we'll be able to figure this out.
Yeah.
And I appreciate that, and you recall all that, and you can tell us all that, and we are going to be able to bring some closure to this family, but I still think that there's going to be a little bit of unanswered questions about this gal at the Marriott, leaving it the way it's been left, and I know that you're struggling with that, and I know that you're doing the best you can, and I appreciate that, and I'm struggling with it a little bit to understand it, and so I know that their family's gonna. And I'm glad that you have that in you, the good Brian or whatever, that you have that feeling in you to bring some kind of closure to this person's family. And I'd like to get there with the other gal, but if what we have is what we have, then that's good.
All I can tell you is that
Smith concludes his tale with a chilling admission. "There's something wrong with me. This isn't normal." He acknowledges that his behavior has escalated, progressing from shooting a person in cold blood to committing acts of calculated torture. The realization of the severity of his crimes doesn't bring regret. Instead, it forces him to confront the darkness within.
there's something wrong with me. I mean, it's obviously it's the second time, so there's something wrong with me, and that's why I did it. You know that.
So you're struggling with that internally. You believe that there's something wrong with you, that you could do this, and so you're struggling with.
Yeah, well, I mean, this is not normal behaviour. This, you know. I am in denial about this. The second one, I am in denial. I can tell you that
Because it's much worse than.
Yeah, that I don't want to believe that I can do something like that. I know I've done it, and that's why I can't see it in my head.
That you've progressed from just shooting somebody to essentially torturing them before you killed them.
Yeah. And that's, yeah. There's no way to come back from that. There's no way.
Well, not
that's-
personally even.
There's no way I can any way come back from that. That's not a normal person. That I'm not temporarily insane. I'm not anything like that. I am sane. I know exactly what I'm doing. But yeah, I've gone too far, and I don't want to go on.
Anything about these particular type of people? Does you have something against Native women?
I've asked myself that question: is it a racial thing? And it's no. It's coincidence.
They happen to be the indigenous people. They happen to be easy.
And they make up 99% of the homeless people. So, well, used to. There's a large influx coming in now.
Mm-hmm.
I've heard from some of the guests at the hotel that some of these sanctuary cities are actually, because we were trying to explain how are these people getting here, and the guy I spoke to is actually from Hawaii, and I said, how the hell do you get homeless people there? Do they like swim across? And he was explaining that these sanctuary cities
The man admits an undeniable truth. He was fully aware of his actions. There was no insanity, just a cold, calculated choice. He questions whether his actions were racially motivated, but explains that the victims were simply among the most vulnerable in society. His confession not only exposes his apathy, but also sheds light on the darkest corners of his mind.
to get rid of people, the homeless people, they buying them aeroplane tickets to Alaska and to Hawaii. And that's why Hawaii suddenly got a homeless issue. And I've seen on the streets here, I know you guys have shut down the homeless things that side of town, and that's why they've moved up here. But yeah, I'm seeing a lot of, they're being flown in here.
So that night, 3 years ago, when you went and you picked up this gal at Safeway, did you know you were going to take her home and kill her?
No. Okay. To be honest, I think I was just looking for some more booze. Mm-hmm. You know, she's got drinks, and you know.
Similar to that of the events of September 4th, you went out looking for a girl just like you do on all nights, but you didn't intend on killing somebody.
Yeah. And what made me angry with her was she was smelling, and it was, I think I actually said to her, I must take you home, you know, and she was like, no, I'm going to sleep.
Why do you think that you remember something pretty vividly from 3 years ago, but you've
because
somehow you've blocked this part of your memory out for the time being? Because it's going to come back to you. It just.
I know. I don't want to believe I did that badly. If you just told me I snapped her neck and walked away, I'd say, yeah, probably did that easily, you know. It's for so long that he's doing something for that long. He's like, no, I can't get my brain around that.
Smith rewinds to his first murder. Initially, he had no intention of killing, but anger and disgust toward the victim triggered his outburst. Over something as trivial as body odor, he turned an innocent woman into the target of his cruelty. His emotions come through in his words, a mix of justification and regret.
So,
okay.
The gun you used, what kind of gun was it?
Oh, it's
22.
Oh, you already got
I got it. 22 SGS green in his gun
The
collection.
reason I asked, there were some pictures. You had some pictures of the handgun on your Google Drive. Was it, or do you have multiple guns?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. There's should be two on the Google Drive. There's a little Keltec AT380.
Yeah,
That's the one I saw. Yeah.
The rubbish gun. I got it at Alaska USA. I got it at US Cash USA, whatever.
If I had some photos Do you think you might recognize this person from 3 years ago if you saw a photo of her? And I'm not saying we have a photo of her because I don't know if we do, but we have some possibles. Would you mind looking at them?
Yep.
Do you think you're going to recognize her if you see her?
Is I think that's her. She was an older lady. Yeah, I've got a funny feeling that's her.
Okay.
So she was a little bit chubby as well.
And what makes you say that? You said she looks a little older. You haven't seen any of the other photos, but that person looks...
It's the look in her eyes and her mouth. That looks familiar to me.
When asked to identify a victim from a photo, Smith cannot hide his guilt. He admits the face looks familiar. Painful memories resurface like an unhealed wound. Yet, the chilling indifference toward his actions remains, highlighting the disorder in his psyche.
In my mind, when I was trying to remember, this is the picture that came to my mind.
Okay.
Yeah. I can look at... Oh,
yeah.
No. Oh, no. No.
Okay.
That's that one, yeah.
How certain are you, from 0 to 100%, how certain are you that might be the person? And I know it's been 3 years, and I've only shown you 3 photos, and there's probably more missing people, but...
I'm almost sure because I felt like a funny feeling inside of me.
Like you wouldn't forget that face.
No, I feel guilty that she really was a nice person. She did nothing wrong to me, except
Did this other gal do something to you?
My chest was sore. She must have hit me. She must have. I'm still blocking up. I promise you, I'll tell you if the memories come back.
I believe you. Yeah, I believe you.
But I'm trying to picture it in my head. The pictures coming to my head are from your pictures, so I'm trying to not that from a different angle. You know, that is sort of how my memory works. I can look at something and then I can bring it up later on to look at it again. You know?
Sure.
Okay. So now that we've talked about the other person, are we done there?
Yeah, I hope so.
The final confession cuts through the eerie silence. Smith acknowledges not only his actions, but the calculation and brutality of his second murder. This was no longer an impulsive act. It was evidence of a downward spiral with no return. Smith's internal struggle is now beyond redemption. As the story concludes, Brian Stephen Smith faces severe charges, including first-degree murder, sexual assault, and evidence tampering. With a 226-year prison sentence and no chance of parole, he will spend the rest of his life behind bars, paying the ultimate price for his heinous actions. This case underscores the importance of protecting vulnerable individuals in society and the community's role in upholding justice. It's not just a lesson in law, but a reminder of compassion and the responsibility each of us bears. If you have any thoughts about this case, please share them in the comments below. And don't forget to hit the subscribe button to stay updated with more captivating analyses and enjoy exclusive benefits coming your way. Thank you for being part of our journey.